What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
2GT 026 Give Garp a holiday. Garp was shocked. 1 second, one punch and it's over. Garp was extremely shocked, which was unexpected. Could it be that Lupu has become stronger again in such a short time? Sengoku was shocked, in disbelief. If it was Garp, he would have believed the Creek pirates with one punch. After all, Garp's fist is too strong, combined with Conqueror's winding, destructive power, and range are extremely large. However, Garp's grandson, Lupu, ended up in a second, with just one punch. In 1 second, it must have been just one punch, which proves that Lupu's punch is not inferior to Garp's in the slightest. Sengoku always listened to Garp boasting about what a monster his eldest grandson Lupu was, how he looked like when he was young, and said that he would definitely surpass himself. And, Garp said, it won't take long to go beyond, maybe a decade or so. In the past, Sengoku was skeptical, thinking that Garp was exaggerating because of his grandson, but now, Sengoku was astonished and asked. Garp, you used to praise your grandson Lupu in front of me, are you too restrained? I thought you were exaggerating, but now it seems that you have restrained a lot. Garp scratched his head. Speaking of which, I was also an accident. It ended with one punch per second, ha ha ha, as expected of my grandson, he is getting stronger and stronger, and the level of monster in my heart is getting stronger and stronger, too alright. Could it be, mastering the Conqueror's winding? Sailor report. I didn't see the Conqueror's entanglement, only the armed colors and fists used. This shocked Garp and Sengoku even more. If you don't grasp it, the attack power is so strong. Garp laughed. I knew that my grandson would surpass me, and when he mastered Conqueror's winding, his attack power would be stronger. At this moment, Sengoku was extremely excited. Garp, you really have a good grandson. It's really weird. You continue to persuade him to be promoted to Marine Admiral if he is willing. At first, I didn't believe that he would surpass you. I thought he was similar to you at most. After all, I know the horror. Although Garp is a vice admiral, Sengoku knows that Garp's combat power is even higher than that of admiral. It can be said that the starting point is the same as Roger, king level. Therefore, it would be great if Marine could have such a king level powerhouse in the future. Therefore, Sengoku is extremely eager at this time. Garp, you must succeed. Sengoku is lucky, but luckily he didn't become a pirate. At the same time, it is also worrying. After all, Lupu's father is the leader of the revolutionary army, Monkey D. Dragon. If the dragon finds out and invites Lupu to join. Thinking of this, Sengoku's face instantly became heavy. Garp could also naturally think of why Sengoku's face changed suddenly, and he knew the worry in his heart. Sengoku decided immediately. Garp, I gave you a privileged vacation in violation of the regulations. You must leave naval headquarters and go to East Blue. You must succeed and let your grandson Lupu be a marine. This is the only chance for vacation in the near future. It is beyond my limit. You must succeed. Quote. Garp was in a good mood, and he didn't agree just now, but after seeing Lupu's horror, Garp decided to give himself the privilege beyond the limit. Okay, I'm going to East Blue now. At this point, Lupu returns to the island. The people on the island are extremely adored. Too horrible. I'm not dreaming. The Creek pirates were destroyed in an instant, and everyone was reduced to pieces. Too strong. Lord Lupu, it's not a human, it's a god. In the blink of an eye, with one punch, the overlord of East Blue, the Creek pirates, was destroyed. It's terrifying. Lord Lupu is mighty. After being shocked, the villagers cheered and worshipped even more. Lupu was like a god in their hearts. Okay, this place will be completely mine from now on. Lupu handed a picture to the villagers, and the villagers understood and made the flag quickly. Soon, the flag was ready. The base map of the flag was black and fragmented, as if it was smashed by the white fist in the center. This was the flag representing the Lupu territory. Advertisement. At this time, the news boat quickly prints newspapers. They were all photographed, and when they couldn't believe it, just look at the picture that was just photographed. The Creek pirates were raining bullets and shells, but in the next moment, they were blasted by Lupu's punch, and the Creek pirates were all wiped out. One after another, the photos are extremely shocking and terrifying. Big news. Definitely big news. This news definitely detonated East Blue and became the headline of East Blue News. The overlord of East Blue, you've been taken for granted. It's too scary. It's over with one punch. Even the powerhouses of the Grand Line and New World can do it, isn't it rare? This news, not only in East Blue, but also in the world is extremely shocking. Print quickly. Soon, the newspaper was carried by news birds and spread. Cuz vibrations. This, fake news, right. 1 second, one punch to destroy the Creek pirates. Kill 5,000 people and destroy 50 pirate ships. Also, it is still under the premise that there is a firepower attack. It's unbelievable, it's outrageous. However, every news agency is a big news agency in East Blue, it cannot be fake. Horrible. Destroyed the evil Creek pirates, but also attacked Marine. The one who attacked was Marine, who was in collusion with the Creek pirates, so the new East Blue overlord is just very good. Compared to the Creek pirates, I naturally hope that such a person will become the overlord of East Blue. And is the extremely strong overlord of East Blue. Although there is only one person, no warships, no army, but a single person can be called the Overlord of East Blue. After all, the original East Blue Overlord was destroyed with one punch. I really hope that our island can become the territory of the new East Blue Overlord, Monkey D. Lupu, so that pirates will not dare to burn, kill and plunder us. Windmill Village. When Luffy saw it, his eyes lit up, full of admiration. Brother, it's amazing. I don't know enough about my brother's strength. It's much worse than I imagined. Luffy felt that his brother was much stronger than he knew and imagined. It's amazing. In such a short time at sea, my brother has become the Overlord of East Blue, and I have to work harder to become One Piece in the future. At this time, Lupu felt that this was nothing. After all, he became the Overlord of East Blue and solved the Creek Pirates. In the original plot, the Creek Pirates entered the Grand Line for 7 days, and were almost wiped out by Hawkeye. What's more, Hawkeye's strength is far inferior to his current self. The base of the Revolutionary Army, Baldigo, the island of white soil. The commander of the Eastern Army of the Revolutionary Army, Bello Betty was shocked, holding a newspaper. Long, read the latest paper, about East Blue. Leave it alone, I'll watch it later when I'm free. Dragon, you must watch it now. Let you watch it, not because East Blue is your hometown, but because, it's about your son, Monkey D. Lupu. You will absolutely be amazed when you see it. 027 No Big Brother's strength better. Long knew that Lupu had just set sail, but since he was in East Blue, there was nothing to surprise him about what happened. Long said, tell me, what happened? Your son has become the new Overlord of East Blue. Hearing this, there was not much shock on Long's face, thinking it was normal. After all, when he met Lupu at the waste terminal, the strength he showed let him know that even in New World, it would not be bad. Therefore, at the age of 19, it is not surprising that it is normal for him to become the Overlord of East Blue soon after going to sea. Long said calmly, don't be too surprised, this is normal. Bello Betty said, Dragon, this is not the point. You know, how long has it been since he became the Overlord of East Blue? Dragon, I think it is very necessary for you to meet your son and let him join you. It is definitely yours. A big help. If you don't want to be a pirate or a marine, then you have a chance and need your guidance. Long shook his head. I know that Lupu must be more powerful now, but I said, I will not guide them to choose what path to choose. Everything will be based on what they have encountered and happened, and choose their life route. As for Luffy, he didn't care about it, and he didn't guide it. Luffy wants to become the One Piece, and he expects and respects it. The sons choose their own paths. So, even knowing that Lupu is strong, the dragon did not interfere. If you want to interfere, you have interfered with the guidance at the waste terminal. Bello and Betty said anxiously. Long, you will regret it if you don't watch it, and you may change your mind. Seeing that Bello and Betty were in such a hurry, Long stopped what he was doing and took the newspaper. Then I'll take a look. However, my thoughts will not change. I will let them experience and choose by themselves. After all, this is how I am. Long started to read the newspaper, but soon, was shocked. Seeing Long's shocked expression, Bello Betty smiled, not surprised. Because, when I saw it, I was even more shocked. Long looked at the news in horror, as well as the picture above. It only took 1 second to destroy the Creek Pirates and become the Overlord of East Blue with one punch. This shocked the dragon extremely, and it was too strong. Even if you push the fruit by yourself, it is difficult to solve it in a second. Looking at the picture on the photo, the power of Lupu's punch made Long see the shadow of Garp. Even, this punch is not much inferior to Garp. The most important thing is that without the Conqueror's entanglement, there is such a strong power, so if you master the Conqueror's entanglement, you will surpass your father, Garp. Lupu, it's so strong. The power of this punch is not much different from the galaxy impact that the old man covered Conqueror's winding. Long was extremely shaken, and his heart was beating. Thinking of the firm words he said just now, he began to waver. Bello Betty asked, is it shaken? Long stood up, put down the newspaper, and looked in the direction of East Blue. I'll leave the meeting first. Bello Betty knew that Long had changed her mind and joked. Long, what did you just say? Long was a little embarrassed. Although he thought that way in his heart, the eldest son was too weird. I'll go to talk to him, but I won't try to persuade him like the old man. I respect him how to choose. Bello Betty nodded, mentally preparing for Long to come back alone. At this time, the Mobity boarded. Ace saw the newspaper and started reading it immediately. Advertisement. After seeing it, the Whitebeard pirates were all shocked, and they were also concerned. Unexpectedly, it only took 1 punch, 1 second. This is too strong. We all guessed wrong. Even Ace didn't guess right, and the error is too big. It's not the half an hour that Beasta said, not the quarter of an hour that Joe said, nor the 10 minutes that Ace said, but 1 second. Ace, and the captains, were horrified. Whitebeard watched the news with great interest, and the photos in the newspaper shocked Whitebeard. If this figure were removed, he would feel that it was Garp who made the shot. This punch is too strong, and it's so strong that I haven't mastered the Conqueror's winding. Whitebeard sighed softly. Ace is not advocating his big brother, he has indeed fully inherited Garp's strength, and may even surpass Garp in the future. Without the Conqueror's entanglement, the power of this punch is so strong. The captains were surprised. Father can do it too, but Ace's eldest brother is only 19 years old. And, Dad can do it because of the terrifying Logia, shock fruit, and Ace's big brother, it's just physical skills, fists. It's really powerful, but compared with Dad, the destructive power is not as good as Dad's. ... When they were amazed, the captains did not forget to put Daddy first. Marco said. Ace, it seems that you were not advocating before, and even restrained. Joe said. To be precise, Ace, even you don't know your big brother. Your prediction was 10 minutes, but it only took 1 second. Beasta was shocked. It's over with one punch, what a terrifying fist. Garp is called Garp the Fist, so what will your big brother be called in the future? At this point, Ace was still in shock. After the horror, Ace smiled wryly. I didn't know the strength of the big brother before. After all, I have never seen the full strength of the big brother. After going to sea, I feel that I have mastered Haki and Mara fruit. The gap with the big brother has narrowed. The difference is not very big. But now it seems that it is not. The gap is not small, but I have a better understanding of the strength of big brother. Ace was full of shock, admiring. Brother, it's really too strong, it's so strong. Ace felt that he understood better, but in fact, it was still far away. ... East Blue. Nami saw the newspaper, shocked and even more eager. That's amazing. It would be great if I could meet him. I really hope that the village can become his territory. ... At this point, Lupu continued sailing, thinking. In order to enhance his reputation, this punch was made with a little force, so it won't attract Grandpa. However, Lupu is not worried, no matter who it is now, it can't stop him from making a choice. 028 won't be hanged. However, this also made Ace feel that this time, he knew the eldest brother very well. Ace exclaimed. I didn't expect Big Brother to be so strong, beyond my imagination. Now it seems that Big Brother's current strength is infinitely close to that of the old man. This shocked Marco and other captains. Ace's elder brother is indeed strong. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is infinitely close to Garp. Beasta said. Ace, it's a good thing your big brother is always Marine, otherwise it would be extremely stressful for the pirates. Joes agrees. Now I have the strength to be infinitely close to Garp, then in the future, maybe I will really surpass Garp. Marco said. Being a Marine has no effect on Dad. After all, Dad is the strongest in the world. Ace, what do you think? Marco watched with interest. The captain said. This is embarrassing, Ace. One is Dad and the other is Big Brother. What would Ace say? ... Ace said. Papa is indeed the strongest in the world. Eldest brother is not yet his opponent, but after all, elder brother is only 19 years old. After he grows up, Dad will have to be under pressure, right? With that said, they looked at Whitebeard. Whitebeard exclaimed. There will be. Compared with you, as an old age, I know Garp better. After all, he is the man who pushed Roger to the edge many times. Ace, your big brother, is limitless. Ace looked forward to. It seems that I have to work harder, otherwise I have no chance of winning against my brother with my current strength. However, it is impossible to be hanged by my brother like before. Ace felt that although his elder brother was still better than him now, it was impossible for him to beat him like before. ... At this time, Lupu lay on the King of the Sea and continued sailing. Time passed, and it has been a month since we went to sea. After becoming the overlord of East Blue, there are no pirates in East Blue who dare to provoke him, and none of the pirates he has encountered so far. When I first went to sea, there were often rookie pirates who would provoke me, but now I am much cleaner. Now, there are already 15 islands under Lupu, all of which have become their own territories and hang their own flags. At this time, looking at the map, it was not far from Xyluobu village. However, at this moment, Lupu saw the dog-headed warship coming, and Garp's voice sounded in the next second. At the bow, Garp shouted with a loudspeaker. Lupu, Grandpa, here I come again. Lupu had a headache and gave his grandpa another vacation. It seems that it was because he killed the Creek pirates with one punch. Lupu, you must know what Grandpa and I are doing this time, right? This time, don't be careless. Since you are infinitely close to me, then I will go all out to fight you, even if you fight for 7 days and 7 nights, I will beat you, take it away. This time, Grandpa, I am determined. Garp felt that this opportunity should not be missed, he was firm. Sengoku has already exceeded the limit for my vacation. I don't know when the next vacation will be, so this time I must bring you back to naval headquarters and become a Marine. Garp was excited. Lupu, you are stronger than I imagined. I really didn't expect you to be so strong. You must become a Marine, and your achievements will definitely surpass your grandpa. However, Lupu wants to say that even if he surpasses, he is still working for the Celestial Dragons, and he will not surrender to anyone. Being a Marine is equivalent to surrendering to I am. Of course, it is possible to replace I am as a Marine, but even doing things for others for a short time is not enough. Advertisement. Grandpa, don't even think about it, it's impossible. Lupu, stop and have a good chat with Grandpa. Grandpa, if it wasn't for this warship being your exclusive dog-headed warship, I would have swooped into the sky and sunk him and you with one punch. Upon hearing this, Garp laughed. Brat, what are you talking about? Your strength is beyond Grandpa's imagination, but how is it possible to sink Grandpa and the boat together? You know Grandpa's strength. After all, Grandpa, I am still your master. Quote. Unbeknownst to Garp, however, Lupu could actually do it, or even do it with ease. However, if you show it, then I am afraid that instead of coming to find yourself during vacation, but being allowed to follow you all the time, that would be too much of a headache. Since it doesn't stop, let you stop first. Garp's gaze locked onto Lupu's sailing tool, the king of the offshore. Lupu knew what Garp was going to do next, to unleash the Conqueror's Haki to intimidate the king of the sea and stop him from swimming so fast. Call. Suddenly, Garp broke out Conqueror's Haki, and it broke out with full force. Likewise, Lupu breaks out Conqueror's Haki, a little bit more. Immediately, the world was filled with dark red conquerors, two conquerors collided, and there was a brief stalemate. Under Garp's astonished gaze, his own conquerors continued to collapse, and the world was constantly occupied by Lupu's conquerors. Even, Lupu's conqueror's Haki stirred the sea, causing a small tsunami. With Lupu's superb acting skills, he was in a stalemate with Garp, and it took a lot of effort to defeat Garp's conqueror's Haki. At this time, Skylark's eyes showed worship. Worthy of being the grandson of Vice Admiral Garp, amazing. Be careful. Garp felt that this conqueror's was also beyond his imagination. Suddenly, the conqueror's Haki enveloped Garp, the warship. Caw caw caw. On the warship, cracking sounds began to sound, Garp vibrated, and the sailors on board fainted. The person in charge of sailing was a member of the Marine Secret Unit Sword. There is a granddaughter of Crane, Peacock, Paramesha Whip Fruit ability. And Skylark, Naval Headquarters Commander. And Naval Headquarters Rear Admiral, Prince Gruth, Clay Fruit ability. But at this time, the Peacock and the Skylark all fainted, and Prince Gross knelt on one knee, unable to bear it. Garp shock. Conqueror's Haki that does real damage. 029 into the seabed. Ka, Vice Admiral Garp, is the redhead coming? Gruss got down on one knee, sweating, this conqueror's was too strong. Looking at the continuous cracks on the warship, the actual damage. In this world, there is only one person who can cause substantial conqueror's damage, and that is the four emperors, the red-haired Shanks. That's why Gruss is worried. He wanted to stand up on guard. Garp said, it's not the redhead, it's my grandson. This makes Gruss vibrate. Is it Lupu's conquerors? Although I knew that Lupu was colliding with Garp conquerors, I thought it wasn't Lupu's, and the red hair might be nearby, but now it seems that it is true. 19 years old, Conqueror's Haki is as scary as redheads. Gruss was shocked. The grandson of Vice Admiral Garp, Conquerors is so strong, the second person in the world who can cause substantial conqueror's damage. The redhead, however, is second. Garp shook, excited inside. It can actually cause substantial damage, it's too strong, ha ha ha. Garp is very happy, but now he feels that it is very difficult to catch up with Lupu. The ship must be quickly docked to a nearby island, and then repaired. Although he failed to take Lupu down, Garp was in a good mood. Can actually do real damage. Conqueror's Haki is already above me, Lupu, looking forward to your mastering Conqueror's Haki. Meanwhile, Garp is curious. I don't know when you mastered it, but recently. Garp found that he didn't know much about Lupu. After Lupu went to sea, he gradually realized that he was already so strong. Unexpectedly, in essence, conquerors, not only red hair can do it, Lupu can do it too. Moreover, Lupu is only 19 years old. Garp is more and more proud, Lupu will definitely surpass himself. Suddenly, Garp realized something. When the celestial dragons came to the kingdom of Goa, they were stunned and injured by the real Conqueror's Haki. Substantial Conqueror's Haki appears for the first time. At that time, it was impossible to find out who it was, only the dragon appeared nearby. Not long ago, having been the red-haired Shanks of the four emperors for 3 years, Marine has a better understanding of his strength, knowing that he has the substance of the Conqueror's Haki. At that time, Marine felt that maybe it was the red hair that did it. After all, only redheads can do it in the world right now. However, at the same time, the red hair pirates were not there, and their whereabouts were elsewhere. Then, Sengoku guessed that Conqueror's real damage may not be one person, but two. And the other one, maybe earlier than red hair. And I felt that the red hair hadn't become the four emperors at that time, and the strength was not that strong, and it should not have achieved the real Conqueror's Haki. And now, Garp knows that another substantial injury to the conquerors is his own grandson, Lupu. Garp thought, could it be that there are 3 in the world? It couldn't be Lupu who injured the celestial dragons back then. Lupu was just 11 years old at that time. How could it be possible? Garp shook his head. Although Lupu was in Windmill Village, he didn't think it was Lupu, he was too young. Although he knew that Lupu was a monster, Garp also felt that it was impossible for him to be that scary at the age of 11. At this time, the Garp phone bug rang, and it was Sengoku calling. Garp, did you succeed? Found it, but failed. This made Sengoku's face sink, and he didn't succeed. After all, Garp wasn't the only one. What's going on? Garp, did you release the water? No, I haven't fought yet. Garp, hurry up, you don't have much time. This vacation is against the rules. The time is almost up. It is impossible for the strong naval headquarters to leave frequently for a long time, so it is risky for the headquarters. You don't have time. Too much. Come back as soon as possible. If it still doesn't work this time, forget it. Advertisement. Garp exclaimed. This time, unbelievable, I wanted to use Conqueror's Haki to shock his sailing tool, the king of the sea, but Conquerors collided, and my Conquerors was defeated. This makes Sengoku shake and be crushed. This is Garp's Conquerors. If it is red hair, Sengoku will not be surprised. After all, red hair is the strongest conquerors in the world. Garp was very happy. Ha ha ha. Sengoku was surprised. Garp, what is so happy about? My grandson, Conqueror's Haki is as strong as the Redhead, the Skylark, the Peacock are dizzy, Gruss can't bear it, my warship is full of cracks. This makes Sengoku vibrate, with the same powerful physical damage as the Redhead Conqueror's Haki. Sengoku was excited about it, and gritted his teeth. Garp, I will try my best to fight for you for a few more days. After you adjust, hurry up and catch up. Be sure to bring him to naval headquarters. Don't worry, I will make Lupu a marine. After hanging up the phone, Sengoku was agitated. Garp's grandson, so strong, it would be great to be a marine. ... At this point, Lupu was far away. Hey, I have a headache. If I chase after him again, I can only drive Grandpa into the bottom of the sea. Looking at the distant island, Lupu could already see the outline of Sarab village. Hoo. At this moment, the wind was sunny, but a hurricane suddenly blew up. It was very unusual, very sudden, without warning. This is not the Grand Line, so this makes Lupu guess, could it be? Soon, Lupu looked around and caught it. Lupu sighed softly in his heart. Hey, I just got rid of my grandpa, and here comes another one. Lupu knew, it was Monkey D. Dragon. It seems that he also knows his own deeds. The next moment, a gust of wind roared, and the dragon appeared out of thin air. However, Lupu can see the trajectory and pretends to be surprised. Who are you? The dragon raised his face, and the face under the cloak emerged, introducing himself. My name is Monkey D. Dragon, the leader of the Revolutionary Army, and also yours, father. Lupu said. Long, Grandpa told me your name. This made Long heave a sigh of relief, so there was no need to verify the authenticity. Long blamed himself. Sorry, I couldn't watch you two grow up, because there are important things to do. Lupu nodded. Understood. Now, I want you to follow me. Of course, it's up to you to choose to do meaningful things with me, or you choose your own path. Before you choose, let me tell you about my plan goals. Dragon began to speak. The goal is to overthrow the current world government. Lupu said. I choose to go my own way, and I hope I won't be dissuaded like my grandfather. Long felt regretful, but also respectful. Long wanted to chat with Lupu more, but saw a dog-headed warship in the distance. It seems that there is no time to talk more, so see you later. After a gust of wind howled, the dragon disappeared. Lupu was helpless and clenched his fists. Forget it, let's drive Grandpa into the bottom of the sea. Chapter 030. Looking at the dog-headed warship in the distance, Lupu decided to sink it. On the warship, Garp saw Lupu with a telescope. Lupu, you can't escape this time. Garp couldn't help sighing. In the past, I used to chase pirates all over the world. Is it to catch them and send them to impel down? This is the first time I have tried my best to chase you. I want to catch you as a marine. At this time, Skylark and Peacock woke up, very sorry. Sorry, Vice Admiral Garp, I was stunned by Conqueror's Haki. Right now, my head still hurts. When Vice Admiral Garp defeats Lupu, I will use the whip fruit to make him obey, and I will follow you back to naval headquarters. However, Garp shook his head. Peacock, in front of top powerhouses, your fruit ability will fail, not even you. This made Peacock vibrate, and his fruit ability became invalid. The whip fruit can command everything that is whipped. It is a very powerful ability, but it will fail. Garp taught. You all remember that the fruit will be invalidated in front of a strong enough Haki. This shocked the three of Peacock, so it turned out that the fruit ability would still be invalidated. Gruss exclaimed. Sure enough, in this world, the fruit is not the most important, but Haki. Garp nodded. Yes, Skylark worship. No wonder Vice Admiral Garp is not capable, but he is so strong. Although he is not Admiral, we all know that it is because you do not want to be promoted to Marine Admiral. You are the one who has driven Roger, the Pirate King, into desperation many times. Quote. Garp said. Except for me, Roger, and Rocks are also fruitless peak powerhouses. In this sea, there are not many fruitless top powerhouses who can be named. Pirates have red-haired brats, of course, the most promising and youngest is my grandson Lupu. Looking at Lupu on the back of the King of the Near Sea, Garp's face is full of pride and determination. Lupu, I must take you back to naval headquarters. Let's not say whether you want to become a marine or not. Let's experience it before making a decision. However, the next moment, Garp's face was shaken. In the distance, in the dark, the dragon was also watching, and it was unbelievable. Garp, Long, the two top powerhouses in this world are all shocked at this moment, looking at the sky above the dog-headed warship, they are extremely shocked. As for Peacock and the others, they even fainted before they could react. Bang bang bang. There were falls, but 3 times this time, because Gruss had also passed out. But, Garp, Dragon, will not focus on the Marine Rear Admiral or stunned by the Conquerors, no mind to shock this, but looking at the sky. In the sky, there is a figure, it is Lupu. The shock was because neither Garp nor the dragon had noticed Lupu's movement for an instant. Instead, they didn't realize it until Lupu moved into the sky and was about to make a move. Garp was extremely shocked. What's going on? Observation Haki didn't sense it, didn't see the short future, as if, Observation Haki, failed. At this moment, Long was equally astonished. Observation Haki didn't expect it. What happened, because of the influence of Conquerors? Long looked at the ground of the island, the crack was bigger. On the dog-headed warship, the cracks are wider and longer. Garp realizes that before this Lupu didn't release Conqueror's Haki with all his might. Garp and Long were even more shocked. In an instant, Chi-Chi thought of the reason why he didn't see Lupu's movement track, why he didn't expect it. Chi-Chi thought of 3 words. Kill by knowledge. The ability derived from the extremely powerful Conqueror's Haki is killing. Can make the powerful owner of observation Haki unable to see the short future. Even disable observation Haki. This is the killing of knowledge. The world, for all that it has, is capable of inflicting substantial damage. The redhead of Conqueror's Haki can do it. But now, 19-year-old Lupu can too. Garp, the dragon is stunning. Surprisingly, I have knowledge killing. There was no time to be shocked for too long. Garp responded instantly, his arm muscles swelled, because he knew that Lupu was coming for real. Advertisement. However, if the opponent is Whitebeard, or a strong like Roger before, Garp can have time to counterattack, but after all, he is facing Lupu. Although Lupu is far from using his full strength, but with a faster speed than Garp and the influence of knowledge killing, even the restraint force is enough to sink Garp to the bottom of the sea. Grandpa, I'm sorry, give up, because if you want to catch me, even you can't do it. After the words fell, Lupu punched down. Godfist Impact. This trick, Garp's self-heating will also, the same growl, Conqueror's winding. Godfist Impact. However, Lupu's speed is too fast. Although he does not have the Conqueror's entanglement, but he has it, but in such a short time, he cannot accumulate all his strength. Godfist Impact. This move, with the word God, is not an exaggeration at all, just like the Fist of God. Otherwise, Roger's moves are magical avoidance. Who do you think he is avoiding? Of course it was Garp who had avoided it. Boom. This move is not as large as the Milky Way impact, but columnar, with a smaller range and stronger force impact. Visible to the naked eye, a white columnar shock wave descended from the sky. That's because the atmosphere was instantly emptied by this punch. As soon as Garp's punch was released, the two collided in stalemate. Although Garp had Conqueror's entanglement, he didn't have time to fully accumulate, so the impact of Garp's punch collapsed in the roar. In the next moment, the Doghead warship, together with Garp, was beaten and sank to the bottom of the sea. Lupu swooped down quickly on the mooncloth, knowing it wasn't enough. The fast movement plus the knowledge kill makes the dragon vibrate. It is too fast, it is too difficult to catch, and the knowledge kill Haki is useless. Garp, who sank to the bottom of the sea, was happy because Lupu was too strong. Observation Haki unfolded, still unable to sense it, so the eyeballs turned and could only be seen through the eyes. In seawater, the speed will inevitably slow down, because of the resistance of the water. Human beings will not improve their strength in the sea like Murlocs. However, no one knows now that the strongest creature in the sea, land and air is not Kaido, but Lupu. Whoosh whoosh. Suddenly, the next second, Garp vibrated. Because of a columnar shock wave, the sea water was instantly emptied, and it was Lupu's attack. After dodging, the next moment, Garp's pupils contracted, and there were dense crowds in all directions. Unpredictable, unable to dodge, Garp slammed his fists in all directions. Fist bone, meteor swarm. Boom boom boom. Dense fists spread all over Garp, constantly bombarding the incoming shock waves. But, this time, Lupu moved up behind Garp and punched him down. The bottom of the sea is falling. Grabbing Garp's head, a terrifying force erupted, and Garp sank directly to the deeper ocean floor. After reaching the seabed at a depth of 100 meters, it continued to fall, and a deep pit emerged, into which seawater poured. Lupu is not worried. After all, he has less than 20% of his strength, so Grandpa will be fine. With a puff, Lupu rushed out of the sea. Grandpa, it's useless to continue chasing me, because relying on strength, it's hard to catch me. Lupu rides the king of the sea, near the village of Sarab. The dragon hiding in the dark in the distance was extremely shocked. Lupu, is this your full strength? Chapter 031. Long sighed. Your strength is still beyond my imagination. Long feels even more regretful in his heart, but there is no way to do it. It is up to Lupu to choose which way to go. Moreover, Lupu's strength, neither he nor Garp, can't be controlled. At this time, the seabed. Garp rushed out of the pit and quickly threw Peacock and the others into it. After climbing to an uninhabited island, after inspection, Peacock and the others fainted and nothing happened. Touching his head, it hurts, Garp marveled. Good boy, so strong. Garp didn't know whether to be happy or sad. Lupu is strong and he is happy. But now, he is so strong that he can't do anything about it. Even if he encounters it, he can't catch Lupu back. Although the strength is not as good as mine, it's because I haven't mastered Conqueror's entanglement. Haki, speed, is completely above me. It is also because of his knowledge and speed that he drove me into the bottom of the sea. Garp knew that even so, it was enough, and he would go all out to fight Lupu, probably 50-50. Own strength Conqueror's winding advantage, can make up for the impact and speed of the killing of knowledge. The dog-headed warship floated out. After all, it was transformed with high technology and would not be abandoned just like this. However, it would take 2 or 3 days to repair and continue sailing. Garp knew that this time it was out of play, and even in the future, unless Sengoku was with him, and they joined forces, it would be fine. However, this is not appropriate. If I want to let Lupu join the Marine, how can I force a Garp to come? I am bullying my grandson. Garp didn't want to give up in his heart, but he was also powerless. Just then, the phone bug rang, calling from Sengoku. Sengoku was very concerned about this matter. After all, the addition of Lupu can greatly enhance Marine's combat power. Garp, what's going on? Garp told Sengoku what happened, and Sengoku was shocked. Garp failed and was powerless, because it was as difficult to catch Lupu as it was to catch Roger before. Roger turned himself in, not caught by them. And Lupu, it is impossible to deliver it to the door by himself. Sengoku was shocked. Knowledge kills, faster than Garp, then if Lupu becomes admiral, maybe he will be the strongest admiral. I thought that even if it became admiral, it would be slightly inferior to Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru, ranking 4th. But now it seems that if he is so strong, he can be ranked 1st. Sengoku felt sorry in his heart. Hey, it seems that there is no play. Garp sighed softly. Hey, I knew I would have forcibly arrested him earlier, but now I can't catch him anymore. Sengoku said. I'll catch it with you, but Lupu will be more resistant and don't want to join. So, unless you voluntarily, it's useless. Hey, I can only give up. What a pity, Marine lacks a new hero. After the regret, Sengoku was a little worried. After all, with such a strong strength, it is not a pity to become a Marine, but it cannot become a pirate, or be hostile to the world government. Sengoku said, Garp, your grandson Lupu, didn't he say he wanted to become a pirate or join the revolutionary army? Never. Advertisement. Don't worry Sengoku, never. Sengoku was slightly relieved. However, it was discovered that Lupu already had a lot of territory in East Blue. Although it was said that people would provide protection money to Lupu every year, Sengoku was always a little worried. However, there is nothing you can do. After all, you are not a pirate and cannot be captured by force. Moreover, even if it is a pirate, even if there is only Lupu, it is not easy to catch it. Unless he did it with Garp, but Garp wouldn't like it. Moreover, it is not good for 2 top Marines to go out all at once. I hope I won't do things that will cause headaches for Marine and the world government. In addition, the essence of Conqueror's Haki, as we know now, is 2 people in the world. Then, who was it in the kingdom of Goa? Sengoku felt that it couldn't be Lupu. After all, he was only 11 years old at the time. How could he be so strong? Even Garp's grandson, who was better than Blue and Blue, couldn't be so terrifying. In this way, Garp temporarily gave up, and will not look for Lupu again in a short time, and there is no vacation. At this time, the people in Zailuobu village were very happy and excited. Because, they saw Lupu. Really the overlord of the East Blue. Hoped to be sheltered by the East Blue overlord. Being the territory of the East Blue overlord is more assured than becoming the territory of Marine. Lupu's reputation has already resounded throughout East Blue, and many islands seem to be covered by Lupu, even if they pay protection fees. Because paying protection fees to Marine is far from having such a sense of security. The islands covered by Lupu are daunting for pirates. After all, the Creek pirates were all wiped out with one punch. Lupu is like a god in East Blue. At this time, Chloe, the captain of the Black Cat Pirates who was the housekeeper of the rich Lady Caya's family, knows that Lupu is coming. East Blue Overlord, Monkey D. Lupu. Crow's face was a little heavy, but he wasn't worried. I hide myself very well, no one knows that I am a pirate, even if I cover this place, it will not affect my seizure of Caya's property. Once successful, just leave. Don't worry about it. Lupu knows that it is impossible to report this kind of thing to Lupu. Therefore, Crow will not leave, and must succeed. At this time, Lupu was about to go ashore, so he naturally knew that Crow was here, so he had to deal with it smoothly. 032 The conspiracy revealed. Kaya's home. Crow, who was pretending to be a housekeeper, frowned slightly. Kaya Mulu worships. I want to go out and meet Lupu. Crow shook his head. No, he is not an ordinary person, but the overlord of East Blue, and he is also dangerous. However, he made many islands his territory, and protected the people on those islands from pirates. Crow reminded. However, he also attacked Marine. Sooner or later, Marine will attack him and issue a reward. Therefore, he is not righteous. It is better not to see him. Kaya shook her head. Even if I did something to Marine, I believe it was not random. He has his own persistence. He is my idol. Rely on his own strength and choose his own path. No, it's too dangerous. It's rumored that it's hard for anyone to get close to him, and it's hard to bear his Haki. Miss, you're sick and sick, so you can't go. Crow naturally wouldn't let Lupu notice here. Kaya couldn't help it, but she thought about secretly watching it when the time came. Chloe left because Django came looking for him. Looking at Zango who was walking backwards in spacewalk, Chloe's face sank, and he took him to the shore, in the opposite direction from where Lupu landed. You guy, show up at this time. Crow, should we leave? The East Blue Overlord is here. Leave. Huh, he doesn't know anything, but you are too eye-catching. Django disagrees. I'm not noticeable at all. At this point, Usopp happens to be here. He knew that Lupu was coming, so he didn't pretend to be very powerful, because he heard that the Creek pirates had been wiped out, and Usopp was afraid that he would be wiped out too. After all, I often say that I am a pirate here. So, Usopp hid here, but at this time, lying in the grass, he saw 2 people on the shore below, one was the housekeeper Chloe, and the other was a strange face. Crow said in a deep voice. After 2 years of preparation, it seems that we have to act now. I originally thought about a year later, but Lupu actually came. Just in case, finish it as soon as possible and leave here. Then, the plan, are you ready? Hey, don't you want to go? Well, I'm ready. Crow snorted coldly. Besides, don't be too afraid of the East Blue Overlord. You are just one person. Although you are powerful enough to kill the Creek Pirates with one punch, you are a hypnosis master, and my speed, maybe you can't even touch it, so don't talk about exerting your strength, even if you meet it, I will see him instantly kill him, and I won't give him a chance to make a move. Zhang nodded, excited inside. If we kill the Overlord of East Blue, our reputation will resound throughout East Blue. In the future, it is enough to report our names for robbery. Hearing this, Usopp's expression changed. Isn't Kuro the butler? Who is he? What's the plan? Usopp was a little scared, but thinking it was Kaya's steward, he quieted down and listened. Zhang said. Then, prepare to assassinate the eldest lady after Lupu leaves. Kuro corrected. Don't say assassination is so ugly. Zhang quickly changed his words. That's right, it was an accident. Kuro said. The problem is not as simple as killing her, but making it look like she died in an accident. Zengo understood. Then, so that you can inherit her inheritance. Stupid, how can I inherit as an outsider? Before her accident, you will hypnosis him, write down the will, and inherit the property to me. This is reasonable, it's okay to start doing it now. Doing this under Lupu's nose, even more stimulating, and a sense of accomplishment when you succeed. Kuro is proud. This is extremely natural and logical. It took me 2 years to gain the trust of people around me for this moment. Zhang admired. For this matter, you have been a housekeeper for 2 years. I really admire you, Captain Kuro. 2 years ago, you suddenly said that you would not be a pirate, and then let the fake double be executed by the sea soldiers. Dead, but in fact you are still alive, and you have become the butler of the rich lady's house, you are worthy of Beiji Keluo. At this moment, Usopp's heart beat faster and his face was covered with cold sweat. It turned out to be a pirate, to do such a thing. Captain Kuro, I have heard, is the most cunning and extremely powerful. Usopp left quietly, running quickly after getting away. I have to tell Caya, it's too dangerous, what should I do? The other party is a pirate, by the way, the East Blue Overlord Lupu is here, if I tell him about this, he will make a move, right? At this time, Usopp ran at full speed and ran to the shore in the other direction. The villagers, all here, cheered. Advertisement. Lupu goes ashore and is greeted. The villagers were excited. Master Lupu, do you want to make this place your territory? We are willing. We admire you so much. It doesn't matter if you charge a lot of protection fees. It's an honor to be your territory. ... It's bad. It's bad. There are pirates in our village. It's Kuro, the captain of the Black Cat Pirates. He pretends to be the housekeeper of the Caya family, and wants to seek the property of the Caya family. The villagers were outraged when they heard this. Usopp, stop messing around. Look, who's here? The Overlord of East Blue is here, and he is still messing around. I tolerated you before, but now you still want to trick us at this time. Do you want to play with Master Lupu? In that case, be careful, Usopp. Go home quickly and stop making trouble. ... However, no one believed it. This made Usopp realize that they used to lie to them that the pirates were coming, but now they don't believe it. Usopp hastily explained. It's true. The villagers don't believe it. How is it possible? Don't tell lies. As we all know, Kuro was killed by Marine 2 years ago. How could the housekeeper of Kaya's house be Kuro? Usopp, because the butler doesn't like you and always prevents you from seeing Caya, so you say this on purpose, and kill the butler by Lord Lupu's hand. So that's how it is. ... Usopp is very anxious. Really not. Caya will die in an accident soon, and then Kuro's subordinate, Hypnosis Master Hypnosis Caya, will write a will and give the property to Kuro, so that he will naturally get a lot of money, not yet committing crimes, not being known by the world government, that's why he did it, it's all his plan. However, the villagers still did not believe it. Usopp said. When it happens, it will be too late, Caya will die, and what I said is true. At this time, Caya slipped out quietly, and everyone heard it, unbelievable. Usopp, is what you say true? Caya, it's true, trust me. Lupu spoke at this moment. From now on, this is my territory. If it is true, I will naturally make a move. That made Usopp's eyes light up, and he breathed a sigh of relief, which was great. 033 Tool Man. At this time, Kuro's face was ugly, and he was exposed. Damn Usopp. Kuro gritted his teeth, even if he went to implement the plan, once it happened as Usopp said, it meant it was true. Even though many people don't believe it now, once it happens as said, it means it is true, then Lupu will shoot himself. After all, now Zailuobu village has become Lupu's territory, and Lupu's flag has been planted. Damn, what to do? If he gave up, Kuro couldn't accept it. After hiding for 2 years, how could he just leave like this? At this time, the Black Cat pirates arrived, and Zhang was puzzled when he saw that Kuro's face was heavy. What's wrong, Chloe? Kuro's face was ugly. Our conversation was heard by Usopp. This made Zhang face darken. Then, shall we leave? No. Kuro was angry. Hidden for 2 years, just leave like this. Zhang was worried. But, the Overlord of East Blue is here. Although he is only one person, he is too strong. Leaving now, it seems that we are afraid, so we will kill him. Zhang, you can hypnosis, once you hypnosis him, what's the use of his strength? Okay, then get rid of him, make a name for yourself, and take over the islands he covers, so that you don't have to do anything in the future, and you can make a lot of money. The annual protection fee for each island is quite a lot, let alone so many islands. Quote. The Black Cat pirates decided to solve Lupu and replace them as the new overlord. After all, he is a pirate from East Blue, so he is still ignorant. Zangul turned to the rest of the ship and started hypnosis. Listen, when I say a thumbs up or two, you're going to be stronger. Zengo made them stronger through hypnosis. All of a sudden, the crew became manic one by one, their muscles swelled, and indeed they became stronger. This made Crow and Zengo feel confident. Then, there will be a one-man East Blue overlord. Take him out and we'll be prosperous. At this time, the ship of the Black Cat pirates is about to dock, and this is where Lupu goes ashore. They saw the villagers and Lupu. At this time, the villagers were shocked. That is, the Black Cat pirates. What Usopp said is true. It's really here. Are they courting death? Sarab village is now Lord Lupu's territory. However, the Black Cat pirates are also very powerful. These pirates don't look normal. Raised by hypnosis. Can Master Lupu solve it? After all, if you can kill the Creek pirates with one punch, it will definitely be solved. At this time, hundreds of pirates from the Black Cat pirates charged forward with their weapons and rushed along the long slope. Usopp breathed a sigh of relief, and everyone believed it. Caya was surprised, it was true. Caya is grateful to Usopp, and at the same time is even more grateful that Master Lupu is here, otherwise even if Usopp finds out, she will be in danger. Caya looked at Lupu adoringly. Lord Lupu, you have to be careful. Lupu said indifferently. It's just a group of ants. Before leaving the East Blue, even going to the Grand Line will not be much fun, unless, against some top players. The one that Lupu finds most interesting will be the Summit War. So, here, there is no pressure at all. Looking at the pirates rushing, Lupu has no interest in doing anything. Conqueror's Haki erupted, and suddenly, the long slope collapsed, and hundreds of pirates fell down instantly, bleeding to death from 7 orifices. Instead of being stunned, they all died instantly. In Operation East Blue, everything encountered will be resolved quickly to speed up the progress. After all, his own strength lies here. At this moment, Zangao was startled, and they all fell down. What did they do? Hypnosis. However, I didn't see him doing hypnosis means at all. Advertisement. The ground cracked in a large area, and Crow couldn't understand it. Damn, what did they do? They didn't faint, but died. Crow couldn't detect the aura of his men. Zangao was even more shocked. Dead. The villagers were shocked and adored even more. So strong. This is Lord Lupu's strength. Nothing was done and they died. It's worthy of killing the Creek pirates with one punch. Caya worship. It's amazing. Usopp was also dumbfounded. It was too powerful, and I was completely relieved. It was so strong. Caya will be fine, and the village will be fine. Zango didn't panic. It's very powerful. Then, put your hypnosis to sleep, and then quickly solve them and leave. Zango began to shake the hoop from side to side. Be hypnosis. After 1 or 2 praises, you will fall asleep. With the shaking, when Zangao fell behind, many hypnosis who watched fell down and fell asleep. Usopp worried. Don't look. Caya was also worried because Lupu didn't evade. Zangao laughed inwardly. Let's be hypnosis. Crow sneered. Let me solve it. I, Crow, become the new overlord of East Blue. However, Conqueror's Haki erupted again, and Zango let out a miserable scream, bleeding to death from his 7 orifices. Crow was shocked that hypnosis was useless. Damn it, it seems that I have to do it myself. I'll kill him. He is too powerful and has weird tricks. If he can't be caught by him, then his strength and weird ability will be useless. After the words fell, Crow acted quickly. Lupu, let me finish you. You are very strong, but as long as I'm so fast that you don't notice it, no matter how strong you are, you won't be able to hit me. In the next moment, under the horrified eyes of the villagers and Usopp, Crow disappeared out of thin air. Looking around, I can't see it at all. Where did he go? Disappear out of thin air. How come? Be careful, Lord Lupu. Lupu naturally knew that this was an assassination technique moving silently and at high speed. But, for Lupu, it's child's play. Not to mention this speed, even if Admiral Kizaru faces Lupu, it will be difficult to attack Lupu. Silent step. Die. While moving at high speed, Crow lowered his hands with sharp claws on his hands, and swung his arms from side to side, at a faster and faster speed. Whoosh whoosh. Move fast, cut sharply, and keep getting closer. The villagers were horrified to find that the bodies of the pirates who fell on the ground had been cut, and the blood continued to emerge, and the blood flowed down, staining the long slope red. Crow is still there. It's a high-speed attack invisible to the naked eye. Can Master Lupu handle it? Usopp was shocked. Too strong. This is the real pirate. Crow, who was moving at a high speed, laughed. If you can't catch me, then, I will give you a fatal blow, and I can't give you a chance to attack me, or I will be killed in seconds. Crow felt that he was approaching quietly, but in the next second, he was shocked by the high-speed movement. Because, Lupu unexpectedly raised a huge boulder beside him, and then closed his eyes. This made Crow stunned, not understanding, and sneered in his heart. Are you an idiot, facing me who was cutting at a high speed? I actually put a weight on myself, such a heavy boulder, and even closed my eyes. I really want to die. Crow was very excited. Ha ha ha, I'm going to be famous. Chapter 034. Usopp and the others also changed their faces in surprise. Why did they do this? Kuro's speed is so fast, such a sharp cut, it's terrifying. Instead, Lupu lifted a boulder like a hill and closed his eyes. The villagers were astonished. Master Lupu, what is this? It's too dangerous. Kuro's speed is too fast, it's too dangerous for you to do so. Caya is also worried. After all, this matter is because of herself, and Kuro's goal is herself. Caya worried. Lord Lupu, be careful. Lupu said. In this way, it can make me feel a little bit more interesting, otherwise, I would just let him end up with those people. This shocked the villagers, that is to say, could it suddenly kill Kuro? After hearing this, Kuro was extremely angry. After all, he was a pirate with a bounty of 16 million Baileys, and he even said that he could shock himself to death. Does it mean that in front of Lupu, I am no different from those people? Do not make jokes. Luo couldn't believe it, and sneered. Prepare to die, you are courting death like this. Kuro was grateful. I'm so happy to underestimate me, so I can kill you. Although Kuro didn't know what Lupu did just now, he felt that he underestimated himself too much, but he was also happy to give himself a chance. Lupu's Conqueror's Haki can shock Kuro to death without all his strength, no exaggeration. After all, in the theatrical version, the red-haired Conqueror makes the flying squirrel kneel on one knee. Not to mention, the current Conqueror's Haki, is 7 times stronger than the red-haired Conqueror's. Then, it is extremely terrifying. In the original plot, during the Superiority archipelago, Kizaru kicked a supernova. If you face it yourself, it won't be a supernova with a punch, but conquerors will bring down a group of supernovas. That's another story. The villagers backed away, choosing to believe. We are ignorant, trust Lord Lupu. Lord Lupu, you are really like a god. Even so, I believe that Kuro can't hurt Master Lupu at all. Suddenly, they opened their eyes wide. Kuro couldn't believe it. A group of idiots, how could they escape? This boulder weighs at least 100,000 catties. I'm afraid it's already full strength to lift it up. It's slower than a tortoise when it moves, let alone it is closed. Eyes, this is courting death. Kuro was extremely excited. Ha ha ha, I, Kuro, will soon become the overlord of East Blue. If I kill you, I will become famous. Although you have killed all my subordinates, after I become the overlord of East Blue, I will have more subordinates. Die. High speed, silent movement, sharp claws cutting. From Kuro's point of view, in the next second, Lupu's throat will be cut, because he has moved quickly and will pass in front of Lupu, and his sharp claws will also pass across Lupu's neck. Whoosh. After the quick move, it seemed to Kuro that it was over. Spilled with blood from the claws, it seemed to him that Lupu had fallen, but, looking over, he hadn't. Kuro stopped, and everyone saw it. It's Chloe. So fast. Lord Lupu is fine. In disbelief, Kuro found Lupu unscathed, not a single mark on his neck. What's going on? It's clearly being cut. Kuro thought it was impossible, but soon realized that something was wrong. Lupu did not stay still, but moved back a few centimeters, thus avoiding his own cutting. Advertisement. The blood on the sharp claws just now is other people's blood, not Lupu's. How could it be possible to escape by holding such a heavy boulder with eyes closed? Others were also horrified. Escaped. Too horrible. This is Lord Lupu. Too strong. This is a boulder weighing 100,000 jin. How did you do it? I can't think of it at all, but it's normal. After all, the power of God is beyond what people like us can think of. It escaped, which means that the speed is faster than Kuro. This made everyone even more shocked and aware of Lupu's horror. Lupu closed his eyes, concentrated on it, and said to Kuro, come on, continue. Kuro's face was gloomy, and he moved quickly, in disbelief. Whoosh whoosh. However, moving quickly around Lupu, cutting, however, Lupu dodged it all. Lupu, who was holding the boulder, was moving quickly, and each movement was only small, just avoiding Kuro's cutting. Being so heavy is naturally Lupu's limitation on himself, sigh. You are a very good tool to hone my speed. Come on, go faster. This made Kuro furious. It turned out that it was like this. He used himself as a training tool, so he lifted such a heavy stone and closed his eyes. Hateful. Kuro was extremely angry, and at the same time, he was even more thankful that this happened so quickly, so even if he went full speed and Lupu wanted to kill himself, he might die before he could react. Lupu is holding a boulder, and there is still a load on his body. His movement speed is not much faster than that of Kuro, but this can be tempered instead. After all, Lupu is still young, and Lupu's limit is not yet, and he can become stronger. If there is no template, Lupu's own strength is 70% Garp, which has not yet reached 100%. If it is reached, it will be 10 times stronger Garp, and now it is only 7 times stronger. Moreover, Lupu has greater potential than Garp, and it can surpass Garp without templates. Therefore, in the future Lupu, the limit will be more than 10 times stronger than the strength of Garp. That's why I didn't use Conquerors to shock Kuro to death. Under such a load, I can hone myself. Whoosh whoosh. Kuro is getting faster and faster, so fast that he can't see clearly at all, he can only cut and move at high speed continuously, and attack indiscriminately. At full speed, I can't see clearly at all. I attack indiscriminately. My physical strength can last for half an hour. I believe that after half an hour, he will already be broken into pieces. Kuro believed and waited. Whoosh whoosh. Constantly cutting, Lupu dodges so fast that the villagers are dumbfounded. I couldn't see Lupu's figure, and the only thing I could see was the huge boulder, which was constantly flashing, making it seem like there were nearly 100 boulders in front of me, all of which were afterimages, because Lupu was too fast. Half an hour later, Kuro was out of breath, at the limit, his arms and legs were shaking, and there was a burst of soreness, unable to continue. But he felt that it had been successful. It must have been reduced to slag. When Kuro looked over, he first noticed the huge boulder, and looked under the boulder. Kuro's eyes widened, his pupils shrank, and he was still unharmed. Lupu took a long breath, put down the boulder, wiped the sweat off his face, moved his hands and feet, and made a clicking sound. That's right, it's a good training, and you have reached your limit, so you, a tool man, should die. 035 Meeting Nami. After the words fell, Lupu Conqueror's Haki erupted, and Kuro fell directly to the ground, bleeding from his orifices. Even for a pirate of this level, Lupu can kill him without using his full Conquerors. The improvement of observation Haki helped Lupu's speed and reaction just now, and it was a reward for him to live an extra half an hour. Lord Lupu is amazing. It's really like a god. Kuro is as insignificant as an ant in front of Master Lupu. After all, it is Lupu-sama who can destroy the Creek pirates with one punch. The villagers worship him even more, and in their hearts, Lupu is even taller. Caya was extremely grateful. Thank you, Master Lupu. Lupu found that Kaya's eyes not only showed admiration, but also admiration. Could it be that she fell in love with herself? Not surprising, after all, every island will have them. However, Lupu also has standards in mind. After all, the goal is to become the king of the world, so naturally a harem beauty is required. Lupu stayed in Sarab village for a few days and was warmly received by the villagers. He stayed at Kaya's house and ate delicious food. Although Lupu sails alone, he can often eat delicious food, and he will stay in many islands, and even many islands are begging to become Lupu's territory, so there is no need to find a chef for himself. 7 days later, when Lupu left, the villagers all came to see him off, feeling extremely sad. Especially Caya, but I look forward to seeing Lupu say goodbye. Lupu left, the next target island, Kokoja village, Nami's hometown. In this way, go to the Grand Line and collect some land. At this time, Kokoja village, Arlong paradise. The mouse finds Arlong and is worried. Arlong, let's leave as soon as possible, you should know the new East Blue Overlord, his style of doing things. Arlong frowned. What's wrong? Arlong is not afraid. After all, he is a pirate from the Grand Line, and although the Creek pirates are the overlord of East Blue, he also despises them very much. The overlord of East Blue has never been to the Grand Line, so there is nothing to be afraid of. Lupu can take down the Creek pirates, and so can he. However, Arlong will also take this matter seriously. After all, he knows that Lupu can be solved with a single punch, and he can't do it himself. Unexpectedly, East Blue came out with such a powerful existence, destroying 50 pirate ships with one punch, although the Creek pirates are nothing in the Grand Line, but being wiped out with one punch, this Lupu is also powerful. Quote. The mouse nodded again and again. Yeah, so avoid the limelight. You know his style. Whether it's a pirate or a marine, as long as he feels evil, he will solve it. And you ruled here, I didn't drive you away, but cooperate with you. Arlong said. Don't be so panic, as long as you and I know about the cooperation between us, so there is no danger without you, don't panic. However, although you are not afraid, in order to change things, let's take it in advance, even if she hasn't made up enough 100 million pele, but soon. The mouse said. It will take a year to make up this speed, but there are too many now, so I will act now. After we succeed, we will avoid the limelight first, and then he will leave East Blue, and this place has not become his sight, we will continue to cooperate like this. Okay, then you go and act. As a Murloc, Arlong despised humans, but he wasn't stupid either. I think this Lupu is very difficult to deal with. Although I think that Murls are advanced creatures, there are also powerful existences among humans. I can't help thinking that I was almost crushed when I faced Kizaru before. At this time, Nami happened to go back to the village, got another sum of money, and planned to save it. Advertisement. After saving it, not long after, Nami was taken aback. I saw that Colonel Marine came with more than 50 sailors, and he was right. According to our investigation, you hid the treasure you stole from the pirates. Our government will now confiscate all the money stolen by the thief. Nami's face darkened. It was impossible to give it, it was used to redeem the village. Nami sarcastically. You are really passionate about your work, because you don't have the courage to fight against the pirates, so you come to find the thief to give yourself extra points. Let me give you a piece of advice first. I am the cadre of Arlong's gang. If you dare to touch me, Arlong, I won't care. The mouse did not panic at all, determined to win. Do you think that you can negotiate with me on an equal footing? You think too much, come and search for me. Nami's face changed, and he couldn't be shocked when he took out the Arlong. Why, it shouldn't be, this mouse is very afraid of Arlong. Nami said in a deep voice. You are doing good things now. Arlong's gang not only killed people, but also destroyed the entire town, you should know that, right? They still rule the island, trampling people's lives everywhere, but you are ignoring Arlong instead. They took property from a thief, is this the government's intention? The mouse didn't care. Continue to search. Nami was angry. The whole island has been waiting for the rescue of your marine for so many years, and you can ignore Arlong and the others and come to me. Nami talked about the resentment in his heart, but the other party ignored it at all. Colonel, I found this orange field suspicious. Everyone, search the orange fields. Nami was angry, and directly brandished a long stick to attack the sailors. I won't let you take my money. At this time, Ajien shouted, stop. This kid's money is used to save this Kokosha village. So you still have the right to take the money away. Marine. Nami was startled. Mr. Jien, how do you know this? Ajien was sad. We knew it a long time ago, Nami. At that time, we couldn't believe your actions no matter what. After questioning Nuo Chigao, everyone in the village knew about it. Knowing that you joined Arlong's group to save the village, but we have been pretending not to know, because we are afraid that when you want to escape from Arlong, our expectations will become a stumbling block for you. The mouse sneered cheekily. What are you talking about? That is to say, the whole village is full of thieves, so let me arrest you. They're saying that each of us is fighting to survive, and it's all because you people from the government are unreliable. Get out of here quickly, and if you hang around, you'll be targeted by Arlong too. At this time, Nuo Chigao came and berated him. The mouse smiled, not worried. Are you being targeted by Arlong? It's hard to say. This made Nami startled. What do you mean? Why are you so confident? The mouse shouted. Have you found it yet? You are not asked to find a grain of rice, but 90 million Baileys. Ajien's face changed. He felt something was wrong, and asked, how do you know the amount? 90 million. I just roughly thought it would be that much. At this time, Nami's complexion changed, his pupils shrank, and his heart was filled with despair. Did Arlong call you here? At this time, Lupu is lying on the body of the king of the sea, and will be close to Kokosha village. Lupu said. After taking this place as the chassis, the next stop is to enter the Grand Line, which will be more interesting. After all, Lupu's strength is already too boring in East Blue. Chapter 036 Nami. Master Lupu can do anything. At this moment, Nami thought of a possibility, and anger rose in his heart. The mouse smiled. We are just members of the government, and we will deal with the thieves as we should. Ajien roared. Don't pretend, it turns out that you and Arlong colluded. Nuo Chigao was furious. As Marines, you are actually working hand in hand with pirates. Found it. A sailor dug up the treasure chest, and the mouse looked happy. Dig it out and go. At this time, Nami was extremely angry. She understood why she did not fight back against these sailors. It turned out that she needed herself. Don't touch my money. Nami wanted to stop him, but the mouse pointed a gun at Jien. If you stop him, he will die. Be obedient and don't move. Nami was nervous and didn't dare to move on. The treasure chest was opened, and the mouse's eyes lit up when it saw it. It's amazing that a little girl can get so much money. The sailor on the side grabbed a handful of money and said, it's all bloody and tattered. The mouse didn't care. It's just money, you can use it, hee 30% of it is mine. After getting the money, the mouse and the sea soldier left. Soon, the villagers rushed to the place because of the movement, and they all knew about it. Ajien was angry. Marine and Arlong are colluding together. The villagers were angry and felt sorry for Nami even more. Cheating on Nami. Damn it. Nami was furious and rushed towards Arlong Paradise. The villagers have made a decision in their hearts, go home to get weapons that can fight, and go to Arlong Paradise. Soon, Nami came to Arlong Paradise. Arlong asked, why are you here? Nami was angry and clenched his fists. Marine, who was secretly colluding with you, robbed me of my money, 90 million Baileys. Didn't you say about the money agreement? You won't break the agreement even if you die, why do you do this? Arlong said with a smile. When did I break the contract? Isn't it just 90 million Baileys? It was snatched by Marine, so let's make it again, otherwise, everyone in Kokosha village will be finished. If you have time, hurry up make money, of course, you can run away, but then I will kill them. Nami is angry, desperate, powerless, and tears flow. If she runs away, the villagers will die. Nami turned to leave, Arlong wasn't worried. She won't run away, she won't leave the villagers alone, let's wait for her to earn 100 million Baileys next time, ha 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 ha. When Nami came out of Arlong Paradise, his expression changed, and he saw the villagers led by Aegean coming with hoes and other weapons. Nami's heart sank, knowing what everyone was going to do. Nami pretended to be relaxed, concealed his sadness, and said with a smile, it's okay, wait for me again, I will continue to work harder, and save money again, and it will be much easier next time, you don't have to worry at all. Seeing Nami like this made the villagers feel even more heartbroken. Aegean wept and said firmly, Nami, enough is enough, we have already decided, and you know it is useless, and it will happen again next time. You really worked hard, leave the village. Nuo Chigao said, Nami, you not only have a bad stomach, but also dreams, go away. Nami took out a knife and pointed at the villagers, shaking his head constantly. I won't go, don't go, I don't want to see anyone hurt by them again, they will die, you will die if you go. At the end, Nami was in tears and worried. It's useless, we've made up our minds. Get out of the way, Nami. Advertisement. Nami's blocking was useless, and the villagers rushed to Arlong Paradise. Aegean, Nuo Chigao, come back. Nami turned around and watched everyone rushing over, daring to die, she collapsed, desperate, and knelt on the ground powerlessly. Nami cried bitterly, hating Arlong immensely, looking at the tattoo on her left arm, her eyes were full of anger. Soon, Arlong and his men came out and tied up all the villagers. The villagers are no match at all. Arlong is not worried. I can't kill you, and expect you to let Nami continue to make money for me. Arlong and his gang brought the villagers out, and Nami was extremely worried when he saw the change of expression behind him. Aegean, Nu Ouchigao, Arlong sneered. If you want to escape, leave, they will be killed by us in front of you. Nami was terrified and kept shaking her head. No, don't kill them. Jian yelled. Nami, don't be stupid, it's useless. Go away, or we'll bite our tongues and kill ourselves. Nami's face changed suddenly, and the villagers all looked determined in an instant, letting Nami know that they would do that. What should I do? What should I do? Woo woo woo. Nami was devastated, sad and desperate. She didn't know what to do, but she also knew that if she made enough money again, she still couldn't escape, and the village would still be ruled by Arlong and Marine. What to do? What to do? I'm too weak, there's nothing I can do, woo woo woo. Nami was so desperate and powerless that she couldn't think of anything. Suddenly, Nami was shocked. She thought of someone, and in an instant, her heart was filled with hope. Nami thought, East Blue Overlord. The man who was constantly taking the islands as his own chassis. It would be great if I could meet him, and if the village could become his territory. I still have hope, that is to find him, I want to find him, I want to ask him to help me, no matter what he asks me to do, as long as he is willing to help me. I want to find him, I must find him, no matter how difficult it is, I must find him. East Blue Overlord. Nami stood up, but at this moment, a voice sounded from behind. Are you looking for me? Hearing this voice, Nami looked back, her beautiful eyes widened, she couldn't believe it, is this a dream? The people behind it are. Nami was pleasantly surprised. The appearance of the person in front of her swept away the haze in her heart and replaced it with bright hope. He is. Nami is excited. East Blue Overlord. Monkey D. Lupu. Not dreaming, it's real, it's Monkey D. Lupu. Nami always felt that her current life was extremely tragic. This incident made her see no hope, but at this moment, she saw it. Facing Lupu, Nami knelt down and begged sincerely, her beautiful eyes filled with tears. Can you help me? As long as you can help me, I can do anything. Chapter 037 Conqueror's Solution Arlong. Lupu said. Today, this is my territory. This made Nami's eyes light up and her heart filled with hope. Really, that's great. Nami couldn't be more excited and thank you so much. I can do anything you want me to do. Nami knows that if this place becomes Lupu's territory, it only needs to pay a certain protection fee every year, and the protection fee is very reasonable. Originally hopeless and powerless, but now, Nami feels relieved a lot. Thank you. At this moment, Arlong naturally saw it. East Blue Overlord, Monkey D. Lupu. Arlong looked sour, ready to leave. He didn't want to fight Lupu, not because he was afraid, but because he felt it was unnecessary. Get the money and leave, where's the mouse? Arlong asked his men. However, Lupu took out the money and gave it to Nami. To Nami's surprise, it was his own money. Lupu said, you don't need to look for it, that Marine has already been headshot by me, and turned into a headless corpse. Arlong looked ugly and wanted to take the money and leave, but the money came back to Nami. Arlong said in a deep voice, I don't want to conflict with you, give me the money, and we'll leave, and we won't come here, because this will be your territory, and I, Arlong, will sell you face. The subordinates feel that Arlong is selling the other party's face, after all, Arlong's character is cruel. Lupu shook his head. What is your face? This made Arlong's face darken. Disagree. Do you mean to refuse? Lupu nodded directly. Yes. Arlong gritted his teeth. Although you are powerful, don't think that I am afraid of you by saying this. I just don't want to hurt both sides. Even if you are powerful and wiped out the Creek pirates with one punch, the original East Blue Overlord is just a joke. The Grand Line has never entered, and we came from the Grand Line, which is not comparable to the Creek pirates. I can solve it with Creek, and then take over his power and become the new Overlord. It's just that I'm a Murloc, and I don't bother to be a pirate group with humans, so I didn't do that. So, don't think I'm afraid of you. I also have the ability to become the Overlord of East Blue and can solve Creek. Such a proposal is acceptable to us. Both parties are good. If you give me the money, you will not violate the water in the future. So, you really don't intend to listen to this proposal. It's very rare for me, Arlong, to sell you face like this. Lupu smiled. Your face. Since you are from the Grand Line, you should know the four emperors, right? I won't sell the face of the red-haired Shanks of the most respectable four emperors, let alone you, a mere little pirate. Quote. This made Arlong look even more ugly, little pirate. Compared to the red hair, I am a small pirate, but here, I am a big pirate, with a bounty of 20 million Baileys. Hearing this, Lupu smiled, looking forward to it. Speaking of the bounty, I would like to have a bounty. The bounty will be unprecedented. Arlong's face was cold, and he knew he had to do something. Toast, don't eat, eat fine wine, and see the horror of our mermaids. Arlong's men roared, showing no sign of fear. It's just the Overlord of East Blue, they won't be afraid. However, Lupu Conqueror's Haki broke out straight away. In an instant, all of Arlong's men fell down, bleeding from their orifices. Even Arlong just knelt down, sweating, shivering, and dizzy. Arlong was horrified to find that he had directly lost his combat power. How is this possible? I'm Arlong. The villagers, Nami was stunned. What did Lupu do? Advertisement. Amazing. What happened? Obviously nothing was done. The villagers were horrified and puzzled. Nami was amazed, worshipped, as if looking at a god. In my eyes, Arlong, who made me desperate and helpless, is so small in front of Lord Lupu. Without doing anything, Arlong was already unable to fight, kneeling on the ground, trembling. Nami et al. Do not know, but Arlong does. Looking around, the subordinates were bleeding from 7 orifices, not fainted, but dead without breath. Arlong couldn't believe it. How is it possible? This is Conqueror's Haki. After all, from the Grand Line, of course he knows about Haki. But, unbelievably, how could Haki have such an effect? It's just Conqueror's Haki, but all my subordinates were shocked to death. Even I lost my combat strength in an instant, trembling, and my whole body was weak. A child could kill me with a knife. How is that possible? Watching the ground crumbling around him, Arlong was horrified and desperate. Once, facing Kizaru, he was powerless and felt that the gap was too big. But at this moment, facing Lupu, he felt that the gap was even bigger. Could it be that the man in front of him is stronger than Admiral? Lupu said lightly, I am now the Overlord of East Blue because I just went to sea. It does not mean that my upper limit is the Overlord of East Blue, nor does it mean that I only have the strength of the Overlord of East Blue now. This shocked Arlong and realized that even if Lupu was placed in the Grand Line and New World, he was a top player, even stronger than the previous captain, Big Brother Tiger. Kill you, you don't have to do anything. This made Arlong angry. Don't underestimate me. There is no need to shoot, even Admiral can't do it. However, Lupu increased his strength to explode conquerors, and Arlong was stunned to vomit blood, became dizzy, and his mind was buzzing. With a scream, Arlong was terrified and died in shock. Conqueror's Haki was so strong that he could kill himself, not to mention stun him. Arlong died, and Nami and the villagers were stunned. That's it, it's settled. So fast. Not even a shot. Too strong. This is Lord Lupu's strength. ... Nami used to think he was unlucky, but now he thinks that meeting Lord Lupu is the luckiest thing for him. Lupu took Crow to hone it, but didn't kill him directly. Arlong's speed and strength will increase in the water, but Lupu did not lift the boulder into the sea, because he felt that it would not be able to hone it, otherwise, Arlong could live a little longer. Therefore, if it is useful, let him live a little longer, if it is useless, just solve it directly. 038 Are you going to kill? The villagers were extremely excited, and Arlong was dealt with just like that. Their Kokosha village has been tortured for so long, in their view, it is hopeless and powerless. For Nami, there is no hope. However, it was resolved by Lupu in this way. Nami has become increasingly aware that strength is extremely important in this world. Nami is happy, the villagers are happy and relieved. They were so grateful that they all knelt down and worshipped. Thank you Master Lupu. From today onwards, Kokosha village is Lord Lupu's territory. Master Lupu saved us, no matter what we are told to do. ... Nami is grateful. Thank you, Lord Lupu. Without Lupu, Nami can't imagine that maybe everyone will die, and maybe he will step into the endless and dangerous road for money. However, the appearance of Lupu saved himself and everyone. The villagers began to hold banquets and prepare delicacies from mountains and seas. After eating and drinking enough, Lupu plans to rest in the village for a few days. The villagers scrambled. Lord Lupu, will you stay at my house? Master Lupu, come and live with me. Lord Lupu, my house is spacious. ... At this time, Nami invited. Lord Lupu, come and live at my house. Lupu nodded. Okay, let's stay at Nami's house then. Everyone is also very happy, and at the same time feel that they are really talented and beautiful. The villagers joked. Nami, you are not young anymore, it's time to find another half. Nami was helpless. I'm only 17 years old, it's still early. But having said that, Nami adores Lupu. At Nami's house, Nuo Chigao's gratitude to Lupu is also very much. Without Lupu, Nami doesn't know how long it will be difficult. Nokigao and Nami would love to reciprocate, but don't know what to do. Nuo Chigao thought. Lupu, you are sailing alone, do you need a cook? I will be your personal cook. I really want to repay you, but you are so strong, you can only make things convenient for you through this trivial aspect. Nami said. I can be your navigator, Master Lupu. Although Master Lupu is not a pirate, you still need a navigator when sailing on the sea. Nuo Chigao's eyes lit up. Master Lupu, I assure you, Nami is very talented. She is very talented in sailing, and she will definitely become the best navigator in the world. Nami said. The Grand Line environment is too harsh and unpredictable. Master Lupu is very strong, but the harsh environment of the sea, even the strong will be in awe. Master Lupu, let me be your navigator, let me repay you. You. Nuo Chigao said. Let me follow you too. Lupu said bluntly. Want to repay me? I will not refuse your heart to repay me, but navigator and cook, forget it. If you want to repay me, let it be another day. Advertisement. Another day. Nami and Nuo Chigao were taken aback. Lupu nodded. I will sail for a period of time, and I will stop on the island, eat and drink enough, and bring some delicious food. As for the navigator, I don't need it. The environment of the Grand Line is harsh. Even if you are strong, it is dangerous without a navigator. But I am strong enough to ignore natural disasters, even in the harshest sea areas. On the contrary, this is a test for me. This surprised Nami. Master Lupu is so powerful. I don't force it anymore. I think maybe it is really unnecessary. After all, Lord Lupu is too strong to kill Arlong without doing anything. It is difficult for human beings to overcome natural disasters, but Master Lupu is a godlike existence. Nuo Chigao didn't think about it anymore. After all, Navigator is more important to Lord Lupu. They all rejected Nami, so don't talk about yourself. Nami and Nuo Chigao asked. Then Master Lupu, you said another day. Well, another day. Lupu nodded and said. There will be a chance to repay me in the future, so let's wait another day. Don't be so anxious, we don't just see this once, I believe we will see each other in the future. After all, this is my territory. Nami and Nuo Chigao think it makes sense, and there will be opportunities in the future. Then, what they have to do is to improve, so that they can repay better in the future. At this time, Naval Headquarters. Sengoku frowned and called Garp. Sengoku, what's wrong? Sengoku cut to the chase. I came to talk to you about your grandson, Lupu. Garp asked. Why, you gave me another vacation. But even if I want to catch him, it will be difficult. Unless I succeed in persuading him, it will be difficult to become a marine. After the last time, Garp felt down, and Lupu was so strong that he couldn't catch it back. I knew I had reservations before. But the good news is that Lupu is not a pirate. Sengoku shook his head. It's not about this, and there is no vacation. I came to talk to you about how to deal with Lupu. You also know that after he went to sea, he didn't go directly to the Grand Line. Although the route is closer to the Grand Line, he stopped many times on the way, and now nearly 50 islands have become his territory. Even some chaotic small countries have become his territory. Garp said. Lupu is not a pirate, could it be that you want to be wanted? Sengoku frowned. To be honest, if the strength is weak, even if you are not a pirate, you have to act and issue a reward. After all, unlike pirates, Marines are not allowed to intervene in his territory. Stationed, it can be said that he is completely the territory in general. If this continues, what it means, you know, the meaning is different. Garp also frowned, thinking in his heart, what is the path Lupu chose? If you don't want to be a pirate or a marine, then you must have your own path. So, are you sure now? Garp said. Maybe it's to make money like this, to collect protection fees. Garp, you can't underestimate him just because of this. If you learn from his father long in the future, you must take action. However, you won't directly attack him. Wanted, remind him first, figure out what he wants to do, let him stop this, or allow Marine to be stationed, and make it completely his territory, which is absolutely impossible. At this time, Akainu came in and heard the conversation just now. He was angry, his face was gloomy, and he was bloody. You are too polite to Lupu. You don't need to be reminded to understand this. Once there is a sign, you would rather kill by mistake than let it go. Hearing this, Garp was not angry, but asked instead. Would rather kill by mistake. Then you go. Chapter 039. About to be offered a reward. Akainu was angry when he heard it. He felt that just because he was Garp's grandson, he should not be lenient and remind him. In his opinion, the reminder is to give Lupu a choice, to leave a way out, and to make him correct when he realizes his mistakes. In that case, no, you can't do it just because you have a relationship with Garp. Akainu said in a deep voice, if you are willing, I am naturally willing. Akainu is murderous, even if Garp is unwilling, as long as he is sent, he will complete the task. Even if he kills Lupu, he will be hostile by Garp, but Akainu is not afraid, not because he thinks Garp can't kill him. On the contrary, if you fight to the death, the final result is your own death. Not afraid because Garp is a marine, or a marine hero. Garp laughed. Then you go. Akainu was about to go to East Blue, but was stopped by Sengoku. Sengoku scolded, Sakazuki, is Garp the Marshal, or me? Akainu was startled. Of course it's you. From Akainu's point of view, Garp agrees, so Sengoku will definitely agree even more. What does this mean? Stop yourself. Sengoku glanced at Garp and said, Garp, do you want Marine to lose an admiral? Garp smiled. TCH, he wants to go, it's none of my business, I can't stop him if he wants to die. This conversation made Akainu stunned. To die. Akainu frowned. What do you mean? Sengoku solemnly said. Because he is too strong, so we have to leave room for it. You can't do it directly. You don't know how powerful Lupu is. After all, he is not a pirate and has not been offered a reward. Few people know his true strength. But Garp and I are clear. Akainu was surprised inwardly, he seemed very strong. But, at the age of 19, how strong can he be? Even if it's a monster, it's at most Shichibukai level, right? If you go by yourself, you will die. Are you kidding me? I am the strongest admiral. What does the Marshal mean? Can he defeat me? Sengoku nodded without hesitation. This surprised Akainu, not like a joke. Sengoku asked. Sakazuki, face Garp, fight to the death, do you think Garp can kill you? This made Akainu frown, although he didn't want to admit it, he still had to give an answer. Now I'm fighting Vice Admiral Garp and he's going to kill me. Although he is the strongest admiral, after all, Garp has regarded Roger as a desperate existence many times, and he is different from Whitebeard. Both are old, beings from the past, but Whitebeard is sick and Garp is unaffected. Sengoku said. Since this is the case, Lupu can also kill you in a deathmatch, because Lupu and Garp are comparable in strength. This made Akainu vibrate. Equal, how is it possible? After all, he was only 19 years old. It is not too much to say that Garp is a king, so the 19-year-old Lupu is also a king. Advertisement. Even if it is Garp's grandson, even if he has Garp's true biography, he can't be so scary, right? Sengoku said heavily. It's unbelievable, but that's it. Lupu may be stronger than you. If you fight to the death, you may die and he is seriously injured. If Lupu is captured at the cost of sacrificing an admiral and a lot of troops, the gain outweighs the gain, not to mention Lupu's intentions have not been determined yet, so remind him first. Akainu understood and apologized. I was impulsive. I don't blame you. After all, no one can imagine that he is so strong. His existence is not much inferior to a single Four Emperors regiment. We will not easily provoke the Four Emperors regiment and start a war with him. Therefore, the same is true for Lupu. But, if you don't do what we said after the reminder, but still completely belong to him, then it's not his territory, but territory. This is different, and you have to do something. Sengoku is firm. He must be imprisoned and impelled down, even if he pays a price, he must succeed. After all, we have captured too many legends, the Red Earl, and the Young Bullet. So, once it is determined to be a threat to Marine and the government, then it is a crime, and it will be caught and impelled down. Understood. Akainu nodded, agreeing. Garp's complexion was ugly, and he thought to himself, hey, it's good to be a Marine, so there's no need to be so embarrassing. Lupu, don't take those territories as your own. They still belong to the world government and are yours. It's enough to collect protection fees to protect them, don't treat it as your own territory, then the meaning will be different. Although Lupu is very strong, if Marine is determined, then Lupu is very dangerous. After all, Lupu is just a person. If Buster Call adds an admiral, then Lupu may lose. After the discussion, Akainu left. After coming out, Akainu's face was gloomy. It's best not to be an enemy of Marine, or even a monster will die, and evil will never defeat justice. If it becomes evil, then even Garp's grandson, I will kill myself. Akainu couldn't wait, waiting for the result after that. Sengoku sent people to act quickly, and it must be clear as soon as possible what it is. If it's just a site for protection fees, it's okay to allow Marines to station there. If it's the worst outcome, then we must do it, and we must do it quickly. Because, at the age of 19, he is so strong, and he cannot be allowed to continue to grow. Now it is comparable to Garp, so if you master the Conqueror's entanglement, it will be stronger, so if it is determined as a threat, it must be resolved immediately. Garp was worried and couldn't contact Lupu, so he could only pray for the worst outcome. Kokoja Village. Lupu has been here for 7 days and is ready to leave to continue sailing. Nami and Nuo Chigao waved goodbye. Goodbye, Lord Lupu. Master Lupu, remember what you said, you must give us a chance to repay you, we will see you again. Lupu waved his hand and said, don't worry, I told you that it will be another day, and I will give you a chance. After sitting on the back of King of the Sea, Lupu left. But it didn't take long to find a warship coming out of East Blue's military base, approaching him. It's no surprise that Lupu could guess the other party's intentions. After all, he was too blatant and made many islands and countries his territory. Lupu sighed softly. It seems that I will also have a bounty. 040 Heavy Sengoku. Soon, the warship approached. Naturally, it wasn't the combat power from naval headquarters, but the marine base from East Blue, which was closest to him. At this time, the sailors on the warship were terrified. After all, they knew that the East Blue overlord was too powerful. This time I came to remind, if you agree, it's fine, if you don't agree, then even if you are not a pirate, you are still an enemy of Marine, so what will happen to them? Thinking of this, they shuddered. After the warship approached, the leader lieutenant commander spoke loudly with a loudspeaker. East Blue Overlord, Monkey D. Lupu, excuse me, we have something to ask you. After all, they are strong, they must be polite. Lupu said directly, speak. Marine didn't ink any ink, and got straight to the point. This matter is about the nearly 100 islands you cover, including the 6 countries of East Blue. You solved the pirates who caused disasters, and made many islands and countries peaceful. Even if you attack Marine, it should be dealt with. Our Marine represents justice and thank you. Compared to you, you are also just, and we are all the way with us. Come up, Marine will boast first, and by the way, show that he is with justice. The conversation changed, Lieutenant Commander reminded. However, Marines can't go up and station, so the meaning is very different. It seems that there is already your territory, not as simple as a site. Pirates, Marines, can't easily enter. This point, it seems that those islands, and the country is out of the hands of the world government. Even if you talk to them, in the capacity of Marine and world government, whether it is the mayor or the king of the country, they ignore it, only read your reply, and only listen to you. This way, it will be even more serious. So, why we came, you should be clear. You can have your own territory, but you can't appear to be completely free from the rule of the world government. In that case, it is very dangerous. You have been out to sea for such a short time, becoming the overlord of East Blue, or even East Blue. Many places in Blue have become your territory, although there are many islands and countries that have not become, but that is because you did not go, and it is not reachable by your sailing route. However, if we continue to do this in the future, then to a certain point, even some who have not become will still desire. In that case. So, to be frank, Monkey D. Lupu, you have signs of becoming the new master of the world, you have signs to replace world government, if unintentional, then give us Marine permission to be stationed. Believe you, if you don't have such ambitions, you won't be against the Marine or the world government. So, it must be our overthinking and misunderstanding. Because you are just, you must be peace-loving, and you won't do this. It's an extremely dangerous thing, it's impossible like the Revolutionary Army. This is our idea, but it depends on your idea. Monkey D. Lupu. Speaking of this, Lieutenant Commander's heart beat faster, and he was about to come up with an answer. He was nervous, and he took a long breath to relax himself, and then asked loudly. So, what do you think? To correct your practice, or? Lupu is lying on the back of King of the Sea, with his eyes closed, enjoying the warm sunshine, the cool sea breeze and the sound of waves. After listening, Lupu gave an answer. If you are stationed here, it will be working for you. This made Lieutenant Commander and other sailors change their expressions. Lieutenant Commander said, no, as long as it doesn't appear to be out of the control of the world government, then you also have privileges in your territory, but the world government is the largest. Hearing this, Lupu smiled. The world government is the biggest. I'm under. Yes, Lupu bluntly said. I don't want to do it. This made Marine's face change in surprise, the meaning of these words. Lieutenant Commander was nervous. You mean? Lupu said. You have to get my permission to enter, because that is my territory, even your Marine and world government have to ask me. In my territory, I am the biggest. This shocked the faces of the sailors. Advertisement. At this time, Naval Headquarters. Sengoku, Garp, Crane, and the three Admiral, Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru are all here. They are waiting, and if they can get together, they know that what they are waiting for is extremely important, and it is the result given by Lupu. When the sailors were approaching, they had already been notified. They know that they are already talking, and the result will be announced by phone bugs soon. Of course, it might not come over, that would mean being wiped out. Sengoku's face was heavy, and he didn't want to. After all, it was another Garp's powerful existence, and it would even surpass Garp in the future. This world is chaotic enough, there can't be another such a strong enemy. Garp felt uneasy and didn't want Lupu to go that way. Aokiji's face is also heavy, after all, he has already understood that Lupu's strength is as powerful as Garp. Kizaru has the same face of clocking into work as usual, while Akainu has a face of iron blood and justice. Akainu said coldly in his heart, if you really treat those places as your own territory, then it is extremely dangerous and the most evil. It will become the enemy of the world government and Marine. If so, it must be obliterated. Akainu is waiting. Once the result comes out, if it's not good, then ease off. Lead the warship, find Monkey D. Lupu, let him complete this task and kill this dangerous factor. At this time, the sea soldier's face was heavy and he reminded. Monkey D. Lupu, if you do this, it is the same as making an enemy of the world government. You are replacing the world government and becoming the new ruler, the new king of the world. Then you will be designated as a threat to the Marine and world government. Here to remind you, the most don't do this, it's like hitting a rock with a pebble, you only have one person, even if you are very powerful and already have a lot of territory, you still hit a rock with a pebble, don't kill yourself. After being reminded, Lieutenant Commander was nervous and was about to give a final answer. So, what do you think? You have to decide carefully. Lupu spoke lightly, confident. Hitting a pebble against a rock. I want to challenge something that is difficult. It's too boring to go to sea until now. No one can change the way I want to be free. I want to try and become the king of the world. This made Hai Bing's complexion change drastically, and his heart sank suddenly. He actually had such a big ambition to become the new world ruler. It's extremely dangerous for you to do this, I warn you not to. Lupu interrupted them. You can shut up. Ruler, you have to change. You should advise the celestial dragons and I am. Let them prepare to welcome me and give me the throne. In this way, you are also my people now, there is no need to knock you out with a single punch. Marine shouted angrily. Bold. Delusion. It's ridiculous. Even Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world, dare not say that, even if the four emperors, Whitebeard pirates, Beasts pirates, Redhair pirates, Big Mom pirates unite, I dare not say that, even if the revolutionary army is added, they will not be able to succeed, let alone you alone, it is simply ridiculous. You are the overlord of East Blue, but you have not been out to sea for a long time, and you are too impatient. The strength of Marine and world government, it's not what you can imagine. If you choose to do this, you will end up dead. Lupu said nothing more. You are now on a dead end. Lieutenant Commander's face changed greatly. Quickly inform Naval Headquarters. Chapter 041 Akainu plus Buster Call, 10 dead but no life. At this time, Naval Headquarters. The phone bug rang and Sengoku tensed up. All eyes were on the past. Akainu saw Sengoku's heavy expression, and felt a fuss on his face. Akainu said, Marshal, even if it's a bad result, it's nothing. It's just a person, just solve it. Even if his territory is united with him, it's not worth mentioning in front of Marine's forces. So, this matter, not a big deal, just a Monkey D. Lupu. Akainu said it very lightly. However, both Aokiji and Kizaru felt that in front of the world government and Marine, a Monkey D. Lupu is really nothing, it just created an extra enemy for Marine. However, even if it is a strong enemy, Marine must take it down, otherwise there will be more such things, and the authority of the world government will be threatened and shaken. Akainu said, it's just right to kill chickens and monkeys so that no one dares to have such thoughts in the future, and at the same time show the revolutionary army what will happen if they do so. After all, they are all similar goals. Sengoku said. I don't know the result yet, so naturally it's better not to be our enemy. Although a combat power as strong as Garp is really nothing to Marine and world government, but one less powerful enemy is one. When the phone was connected, everyone fell silent. On the other side of the phone, Haibing exclaimed. It's bad. Monkey D. Lupu has great ambitions. He wants to become the king of the world. Hearing this, Garp rested his hand on his forehead, feeling very headache. Sengoku's face darkened, and he sighed. Hey, is that so? Akainu stood up with a murderous look. Then, his fate is death. He sighed softly. The strength comparable to Garp is a trouble, a threat. However, unlike the revolutionary army, he is only one person, and if he gives a warning to his territory, he will make a wise choice. It is only one person strong, will be like Bullet. Bullet is also strong alone. At the age of 18, he had the strength comparable to Pluton Rayleigh at his peak, but he was still defeated. Even if Lupu is stronger than Bullet, it will end in the same way. Garp sighed. This kid. I thought it was better than Luffy to be a pirate. But it's even more of a headache than Luffy. Luffy wants to be the One Piece, and Lupu wants to be the king of the world and his own boss. Garp thinks this is also very good, the boss above is his grandson. Celestial dragons also don't like it, but such a road is too dangerous. Akainu sternly said. I will take the warship and capture Monkey D. Lupu back. Either capture him as a marine, or send him to Impel Down, and let him spend the rest of his life in prison, or, public execution, killing chickens and monkeys, let the world know what to do, even the world's top powerhouse will die. Therefore, it is good for him to be strong, otherwise killing him will not have a deterrent effect. This made Garp look ugly, as if to say, thank you for teaching well, teaching a monster that can make Marine kill others as an example. Sengoku said. Sakazuki, sit down first, what kind of combat power to arrange can't be arranged so quickly. The first thing to do is to issue a reward. Already the enemy of Marine and world government, a bounty must be issued. Marine's method of combating evil is to send troops to deal with it, and the other is to offer rewards to encourage people in the world who are not pirates to earn rewards. Aokiji asked. So, what is the reward for him? Kizaru twisted his mouth and said. It's scary to have the same strength as Vice Admiral Garp. He still has such a dangerous and bold idea, and he already has a lot of territory. Perhaps the first reward for him will break the record. The original for the record, it was Rox who was offered a bounty for the first time, with a bounty of 700 million Baileys. Akainu didn't think it was necessary, after all, Lupu was taken by East Blue. However, you can only follow this procedure. Sengoku already had the answer in his heart, so he spoke directly. Advertisement. Crane, get ready to have someone print out a reward list, spread it around the world quickly, and write out Monkey D. Lupu's actions, dangerous ideas, and his reward as. Speaking of which, Sengoku paused. Everyone looked over and fell silent. Garp was worried in his heart. Sengoku said coldly. Monkey D. Lupu's bounty, 3 billion Baileys. In an instant, he and Admiral's complexion changed drastically. The first time a reward was offered, it was 3 billion Baileys. There was no one before, and I am afraid that there will be no one to come after. After all, the first time Rox was offered a reward, it was only 700 million Baileys. There are too many strong people, and the first time the reward is no more than 700 million, most of them are tens of millions, around 100 million. After all, they were still young when they first went to sea, and their combat power was not that strong when they were young. It is very rare for people to go to sea after reaching the peak of their life when they are older, and even if they do, the first bounty offered is not so high. Lupu is different. Going to sea is the top combat power, comparable to Garp. With such a dangerous idea, if he wants to become the king of the world, he will become stronger if he continues to develop. Therefore, a great threat, the first time the reward was offered, the reward was 3 billion Baileys. Crane left and began to let the Marine Reward Department quickly take care of printing. Sengoku began to think about what kind of combat power to arrange to capture Lupu. Garp worried in his heart. Lupu, his own pride, the first time the reward was 3 billion Baileys, but such a dangerous idea, Marine will take it seriously, and the scale of the combat force dispatched will inevitably be large. Garp was worried inside, with a complicated look on his face. Sengoku asked earnestly, Garp, what do you think his strength is? Compared with you, how much is it? Although I know, it is difficult for you to answer this way, but you must be clear about your position. Although already understood, Sengoku wants to know more, so as to arrange the combat power. Garp looked ugly. Seeing that Garp was having trouble answering, Akainu said, just think about it bigger. At most, it's as strong as Vice Admiral Garp's 50-50. If you think about it, there's no harm. That's the truth, there's really no harm in that. Garp said in a deep voice, it's about 50-50. Sengoku actually knew it in his heart. Garp, although you failed to catch him before, I know that if you fight to the death, he may not be the winner, maybe you. After all, he will not be entangled with conquerors, even if the speed, knowledge, conquerors is above you, I believe you will win the deathmatch. Hearing this, Akainu smiled. HMPH, then, if I bring a few warships there, it will be enough to take him down. Sengoku shook his head. Just to be on the safe side, you can add Buster Call, it's pretty sure. Akainu is confident. It's not just a sure thing, but Monkey D. Lupu, 10 deaths and no life. At this time, Lupu sank the warship and headed towards the Grand Line. Lupu also knows that he has become the enemy of Marine and the world government, and the reward is coming, and the world will inevitably be shaken. 042 The bounty offered. Lupu is sure, and the bounty is about to be released. Will be the enemy of the Marine and the world government, with a high bounty, but Lupu doesn't care. Anyway, although come on, just right, invincibility is a bit lonely. No matter what kind of enemy, they can't stop themselves. After all, he has been honed for so long, and now he only goes to sea at the age of 19. What Lupu has to do is to do whatever he wants, crushing all the way, and will not experience any failures. With extremely powerful strength, he began to fight. Therefore, they will not keep a low profile, nor will they care about any hostility. Even if he is not invincible now, in this world, not all forces can go all out to deal with him. For example, Marine and world government, it is impossible to go all out, and it is impossible to deal with themselves with all their combat power. In that way, I really can't beat the alliance of so many powerful people now, but there are still pirates, 4 emperors, and revolutionary army in this world, so naturally it is impossible to deal with myself with all my strength, and the pirates will benefit from it. Moreover, even if they send combat power to deal with him this time, they will not be very strong. After all, Marine's current intelligence, and to the world, only knows part of his own strength, and he feels that he is Admiral's strength. But, far more than that. At this time, Naval Headquarters. The bounty list has already been printed in bulk, and is being printed by news agencies around the world. There was Marine's own news agency, and there were other news agencies to which Marine broke the news. Such an event is shocking and unbelievable, and it must shake the world. So, every news agency quickly prints newspapers. Soon, it spread, in the 4 seas, and the Grand Line. Naval Headquarters. Akainu looked at the bounty list. The photo on it was a boy who was similar to Garp and a dragon, Monkey D. Lupu. Don't be killed by other people to get the bounty, I will eradicate the evil. Akainu feels that it is better for Marine to solve this kind of crime, and it can play the best role in deterring crime. Garp looked at the bounty list with a heavy, worried face. Lupu, don't fall down. At this moment, the world shook. Everyone thought it was fake news. The first reward, 3 billion Baileys. 19 years old, 3 billion, even if it's not the first reward, it's too fake. But it's what Marine posted, and it's true. Monkey D. Lupu, who is it? East Blue Overlord, the weakest sea area. 3 billion, what did he do? Did he kill a lot of civilians? It can't be strength. ... However, soon see the newspaper. It really depends on strength. The strength is not much different from Garp. Although I haven't confirmed the specific combat strength, whether it is really as strong as Garp, but I can be sure that it is Admiral's strength. Determined as Admiral's strength, and such a dangerous idea, 3 billion is not an exaggeration. No wonder, the original strength is so strong, and he is only 19 years old, so he will be stronger in the future. You want to become the king of the world, you are so brave, and you are only alone, do you want to die? It's like this not long after I went to sea. I'm really looking for death, or it's swollen, and I'm just watching the sky. It's just the overlord of East Blue. Don't think that you are also the overlord in other sea areas. Becoming the king of the world is really a dream. East Blue has already controlled many islands and even some empires. No wonder the reward is so high for the first time. Advertisement. It broke the record and shocked the world, but it was only a flash in the pan. I believe it will be caught soon. Inevitably, the idea is dangerous, the potential is powerful, and the threat is great. Naturally, it is best to deal with it before he grows up. ... New world, the Mobity is docked by an island. A pirate exclaimed holding a bounty list and a newspaper. Captain Ace, it's bad. Ace frowned at Whitebeard and the captains who were eating and drinking at the camp. What happened? Captain Ace, quickly read the newspaper. There is also this reward list. The pirate took out the bounty list from a distance, although the distance was very far, but he saw the portrait, it was the big brother, Lupu's bounty list. Ace was a little surprised. I thought I couldn't see the bounty list of the big brother in a short time, after all, the big brother is not a pirate. Ace is looking forward to it, the bounty has come out, how much will it be? His bounty is now 450 million Baileys, and he has been at sea for 2 years. Although the eldest brother had just set out to sea not long ago, and was offered a reward for the first time in more than 2 months, Ace believed that the bounty offered by his eldest brother might be directly similar to his own. It's the first time I was offered a reward, so much, that's really too strong. Perhaps, they may all be a little taller than themselves. Ace is proud. Brother has been offered a reward. This is the first time a reward has been offered. I believe the reward will be very high. The captains also know that Brother Ace is really powerful, after all, he defeated the previous East Blue Overlord with 1 punch. Although the previous Overlord of East Blue was nothing in the Grand Line, after all, he was eliminated with 1 punch in 1 second. They feel that Brother Ace's strength is at least similar to Ace's, or even stronger than Ace's. Marco said. Ace, so what do you think is the first bounty offered by your elder brother? Joes. Let's not look at it, just guess. Beasta agrees. That's more fun, let's guess. Ace thought for a while and said, although the reward was offered for the first time, it must be very high. I think 500 million Baileys. Marco and the other captains were surprised. Ace, the estimate is too high. Even for your eldest brother, this is too high. I know you're showing off your brother, but it's really too high. It's 500 million for the first time. The captains were surprised and began to talk about their guesses. Marco. I think there must be 300 million. The first 300 million is scary. Joe's. 400 million, more this time. Beasta. The same age as Ace, but it's not long since I went to sea. It's the first time. I think it's 350 million. The captains spoke to each other, then looked at Whitebeard. Dad, can you guess the number? Whitebeard also plans to guess with his sons and have fun. Whitebeard thought for a while and said, Ace's big brother is really powerful. In the past, Ace was not bragging or exaggerating. Then, I will be like Ace, 500 million. When the words fell, they looked over. Bring over the reward list. 043 understood. The pirates took the bounty list, Ace, Marco and other captains, and even Whitebeard couldn't wait to look at it. Ace felt that he must be right. Although it was unbelievable, he was the big brother after all. However, after seeing the reward list, Marco smiled. Ha ha ha, I won. Beasta sighed. I guessed 350 million, almost, Ace's eldest brother, the first time a reward was offered, and the reward was 300 million Baileys. Marco guessed right. Joe's exclaimed. The first time it was 300 million, it's really amazing. The first reward of tens of millions is extremely powerful. They are all the top powerhouses of this era. Brother Ace is only 19 years old now, absolutely unprecedented. Gone. Although he guessed wrong, Ace still admires him immensely. As expected of a big brother, the first time I offered a reward was 300 million Baileys, and the first time I offered a reward, it was only 30 million Baileys. Although it is not as high as mine, it is the first time that big brother offered a reward. I believe it will soon get ahead of me. Whitebeard exclaimed. Hoo la la la, it's amazing, Ace's big brother, it's amazing, maybe it will surpass rocks. It's so amazing at the age of 19, even I have never seen it. At this time, the pirate with a horrified face and a newspaper in his hand, seeing what the captain and the father said, couldn't help being startled, and immediately reminded. Father, captains, take a closer look, it's not 300 million Pele. As soon as these words came out, Ace, Marco and other captains were taken aback, as was Whitebeard. Isn't it 300 million Pele? The value on the reward list is very clear. When they glanced at it, they were surprised. A reward of 300 million Baileys was offered. Not 300 million Baileys. Ace, Whitebeard are puzzled. Yes, it's not 300 million, Dad, count it carefully. At first I thought it was 300 million, but after reading the detailed information in the newspaper, I took a look and couldn't believe it. This made Ace and the others startled again, they hadn't read the newspaper yet. Immediately, their eyes were locked on the reward list again, the first number, 3. Behind it was a string of 0s, and they began to count. Tens of millions of billions of billions of billions. When they reach 100 million, their eyes are still locked on 0, not 3, but the 0 behind 3, which means. In an instant, Ace, Captain Marco, and even Whitebeard all stared wide-eyed in disbelief, and there was a huge wave in their hearts. Lupu's bounty is not 300 million Baileys, but 3 billion Baileys. How is it possible? Marco was horrified. Joe's, Vista and other captains were also horrified. The first reward, 3 billion. Oh my god. Unbelievable, there is no one before, no one after. At first glance, I thought it was 300 million. After all, it was the first time I was offered a reward, so I didn't look too much. 300 million is outrageous, but I didn't expect it to be 3 billion. Ace's big brother, that's outrageous. It hasn't been long since I went to sea. The first reward is 3 billion. How much higher will it be in the future? At this moment, Ace was horrified, even he miscalculated. Although he and his father guessed the closest, the difference was too much. The guess was 500 million, but it was actually 3 billion. Ace was shocked and adored. As expected of my big brother, he is as outrageous as ever. Marco exclaimed. Ace, your big brother is really amazing. Joe's. As expected of being Ace's big brother, Ace has always been convinced that he is a younger brother in front of a big brother. Advertisement. Whitebeard was shocked. The first time I offered a reward of 3 billion, even I was shocked. No one has ever been able to do it before. Ace's big brother is really amazing. Although he has not surpassed me yet, I believe he will. However, although I was shocked to hear this, Marco and other captains believed it. Father, you are the strongest. Perhaps Ace's big brother can surpass Dad in terms of bounty, but it is definitely impossible in terms of strength. Yes, after all, Dad is the strongest man in the world. Brother Ace is only 19 years old, but Dad's strength and shock fruit are invincible. In terms of strength, Dad is the strongest, but Ace's big brother has grown to the peak, so he is definitely second only to Dad. In their hearts, Dad is the strongest. Therefore, even though Lupu is so powerful when he is young, they still think that Dad is the strongest. After all, Dad recognized him as the strongest man in the world. Even Ace didn't refute anything. Seeing the determination in the hearts of his sons that his position as the strongest is unshakable in their hearts, Whitebeard laughed loudly. Hoo la la la, I'm getting old. At the peak, I may not be surpassed by anyone. In terms of the peak period, Lupu may not be able to surpass me in the future, but the future is not certain. My strength will continue to decline with age. Father, you are the strongest in our hearts. Okay, let's read the newspaper. What did Ace's elder brother do? Even though he is very powerful, he actually offered a reward of 3 billion for the first time. Even I really want to know. Immediately, they looked at the white paper, and were immediately shocked. Ace's eyes lit up, adoring him. I didn't know the path I was going to take, my goal, now that I know it, let me say something first, I am a big brother, and I won't let you down. Ace already knew that the eldest brother actually wanted to become the king of the world, to replace the world government, to replace IM, and become the ruler of the world. Luffy is going to be the One Piece. The eldest brother is even better and wants to become the king of the world. After reading it, the captains were all surprised. He even publicly explained his purpose to Marine. No wonder I don't want to be a Marine. It turns out that I don't like this system, and I don't like celestial dragons. To become a Marine is to serve the celestial dragons and protect the celestial dragons. Whitebeard smiled and said, "Hoo la, I like Ace's big brother more and more, and I want to adopt him as my son." Marco exclaimed. The strength is rated as admiral level, which is really amazing. Joe said, "If you're a Marine, then you're an admiral at the age of 19. Beasta said, "The strength is much stronger than we imagined." Ace is happy. Brother's strength is already at the admiral level. I heard that my brother killed the Creek pirates with one punch. I think that my brother's strength is at the top level of Shichibukai, or infinitely close to admiral, but he is already admiral. It's really amazing, big brother. Ace's eyes were shining, like a little fanboy, and he grinned. Brother, I finally understand your strength, admiral class. Chapter 044 Whitebeard Hood Lupu. After the shock, Marco and the captains frowned, worried. Ace, your elder brother is really powerful, 19 years old admiral level, 3 billion rewards, but also dangerous. The first reward of 3 billion is partly due to his strength, but the main part is due to his threat to Marine and world government, and most importantly, his ideas. Yeah, it's okay if he grows up and is exposed again, but now he is only a strong man alone. Although he already has many islands and countries as his territory, they are all small countries. Even if they help him, there are also mostly civilians, so he doesn't have much combat power. This is the first time Marine offered a reward. It can be seen that he is extremely focused on dealing with him. Therefore, your eldest brother is very dangerous. Although we don't know each other, we are Ace's big brother after all. At this time, Ace worshipped and became worried after being shocked. Indeed, big brother is in danger. The big brother is very strong, but facing the world government and Marine, he is still small. Even if Marine can't deal with it with all its strength, it can pose a threat to the big brother by sending part of its combat power, such as Buster Call, such as Admiral leading the team. In that case, the eldest brother is in danger of being arrested. And, Marine will definitely act as soon as possible. The Revolutionary Army also has this idea, but they all know how to hide, and they are not strong alone, but the eldest brother is alone, and he will not hide. Ace is worried. Brother is a bit high profile, you should hide it first, and then reveal it when you are strong enough and strong enough. Now it is really too dangerous. Marine released the reward first, and set it so high. I also hope that other than Marine and world government external forces will attack him, but he will definitely act as soon as possible. After all, my eldest brother is only 19 years old, and if he still has such thoughts, he will be stronger in the future, and he will be more capable at that time. Also, big brother doesn't have any substantial combat power, military strength, and powerful subordinates. After all, big brother just went to sea not long ago. Although he has made many islands into his territory and even some countries, it is East Blue after all, and he is basically watching the sky from a well. After all, he came out of East Blue. After Ace went out to sea, he entered the Grand Line. Only then did he realize that he was still very weak when he went out to sea, and he didn't know a lot. After going out to sea, it becomes really strong, Haki, devil fruit. Therefore, the strength of East Blue Island and the strength of the country are too weak. If the eldest brother wins over the Grand Line, the island of New World, and the country is his territory, then he will have military strength and powerful subordinates. However, the eldest brother hasn't gone to the Grand Line yet, he's only strong alone, so it's very dangerous. Marine can definitely think of it, so he won't give the big brother a chance to become stronger. As he kept thinking about it, Ace became more and more worried. Brother. Having lost Sabo, Ace doesn't want to lose his big brother and Luffy. Now, big brother is dangerous. Marco wondered. It's really strange, why didn't you choose to join the Revolutionary Army? The dragon is the son of Garp, then Lupu is the son of the dragon. The ideas are similar, but why not join the Revolutionary Army? That way, it's much safer. Is it for training? The captains were puzzled. Whitebeard sighed softly. Appropriate tempering can improve, but if it is too much, it will fall. It is really premature. Brother Ace's approach is indeed too young. He is also too young, arrogant, and does not know the forces he will face. How big? Whitebeard also felt that Lupu was dangerous. Marco said. Ace, first believe Marine will attack your elder brother soon. Buster Call is difficult to deal with your elder brother, so it must be Admiral plus Buster Call, then. Ace couldn't sit still anymore and stood up. I have to leave for a while to find my elder brother. My elder brother is very dangerous now. I know that my elder brother is in danger, so I can't do nothing. Advertisement. Marco said. Then Ace, be careful and bring your elder brother to follow us. Beasta regrets. If you want to become the king of the world, then you won't join our Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard said. You can be my son, but you can be a free identity, not a member of our pirate group. It made Ace's eyes light up, and he was happy, excited, grateful to look at Whitebeard. Father. Ace knows that Dad did this because of himself, and he is extremely grateful. Big brother becomes Daddy's son, so he is not alone, and we Whitebeard pirates, then Marine and world government won't do anything easily. That way, we'll be stronger. Not a member of our pirate group, but Dad's son will also make the world government afraid. Ace thanked. Dad, thank you for protecting my big brother. Ace thought his father was so kind and grateful. By doing this, the old man is protecting the elder brother in a disguised form. In this way, he felt more relieved. After all, Dad was the strongest man in the world. Whitebeard smiled and said, Kulalala, Ace, don't do this. Although I haven't seen your elder brother, I like him too, and I appreciate him very much. Marco frowned slightly. The premise of all this is that Ace's eldest brother is willing to recognize his father. This made Whitebeard startled. He hadn't thought about it. To be precise, he didn't think he would refuse. Neither did Ace and the others. I won't refuse. We'll be happy now. To be Dad's son, Dad is fully qualified. Although Lupu is very strong, he is not as strong as Dad. Dad is the strongest man in the world. Lupu, stronger than the Whitebeard pirates. Being Daddy's son is like a family with our Whitebeard pirates. It will be much safer. I will agree. Ace also felt the same way. I also think that big brother will agree. However, Whitebeard shelters Lupu. If Ace knew Lupu's true strength, he would not think so. If Whitebeard knew it too, he wouldn't think so, and would feel unworthy. At this time, the king of the sea is on his back. Bounties and newspapers have spread to the sea not far from Logue Town. Looking at the newspaper and the reward list, Lupu was not surprised and shook his head. Anyone who sees it will definitely be surprised. Lupu sighed softly. The bounty of 3 billion is too low. 045 The redhead throws an olive branch. Although I am far from showing my full strength, I also feel that 3 billion is low, at least 4 billion. But, I don't care, soon no matter which aspect, I will be the strongest. At this time, Windmill Village. Luffy knew it, and went to see it immediately. Brother has been offered a reward. How much is the reward for the first time? Ace offered a reward of 30 million Baileys for the first time, and now offers a reward of 450 million Baileys, he knows it. Because, Luffy will always pay attention. And now, the brother is also offered a reward, which makes Luffy very curious. After taking the reward list, Luffy looked at it, his eyes lit up. The first reward is 300 million Baileys. This is the number that comes to mind at first glance. Luffy admired and exclaimed. As expected of my brother, it's really amazing. Luffy was happy, proud. So, I looked carefully, began to confirm, and counted. But soon, Luffy's expression changed. It was not 300 million, but 3 billion. Even though he knew that his brother was very strong and a monster, he didn't expect that the reward for the first time was 3 billion, which was much more than Ace, who had been at sea for 2 years. Luffy's eyes lit up. Brother is still scary, even 3 billion. After being horrified, Luffy looked at the newspaper and admired it even more, thinking it was so cool. My brother will replace the world government and become the king of the world. In today's world, there are indeed too many problems. Luffy is proud in his heart, and believes. My brother will definitely succeed. I want to become the pirate king, and my brother wants to be the king of the world. In my heart, I am extremely firm, and I must become the pirate king. Then my brother must also become the king of the world, extremely firm. At the same time, Luffy is also worried, but believes that since his brother chooses to expose it now, he must be confident. Brother, Ace, I believe you will all be fine and wait for me on the sea. At this time, Makino was also worried and prayed. Lupu, there must be nothing wrong. The village chief was extremely worried. After all, this was too bold. And, Lupu is just one person, thinking that Marine will definitely make a move. Hey, Lupu is like this, it's bad luck. The village chief's words made Makino's face heavy. As you can imagine, the danger Lupu faces is too great. Lupu, you must find a powerful partner. Let's go with like-minded people. It will be safer. For Lupu, Makino has an idea in her heart, but it makes her tangled. Now, she is not married, not even talked about, just because she has Lupu in her heart. This made her feel that she was so wrong. She was equivalent to Lupu's sister. How could she like Lupu? At first, I felt that the relationship was about siblings, but gradually I realized that it was not. Lupu practices. She often delivers meals and makes new clothes for Lupu. Every time, I deliberately made the crotch wider, but after wearing it, it was still tight. This made Makino feel that Lupu was too big. Of course, after seeing it that time, I will never go to see it again. After all, the age is getting older and more inappropriate. Gradually, Makino found that he liked Lupu and didn't want to get close to other men, and he is still single now. Lupu, I'll wait for your return. New world, an island. Redhair pirates stop on a snowy island to look at the bounty list. The redhead is interested. After all, I heard that he is Luffy's big brother. Everyone in the Redhair and the pirates knew about it. At the beginning, Luffy often mentioned his big brother, showing off. And now, Luffy's brother is offered a bounty, so let's see. Shanks finished the reward list in the newspaper, and sighed softly. I believe Luffy didn't exaggerate at the time. His brother may be really powerful, so let's see how much bounty is offered by Luffy's brother, and what happened. Looking at the reward list, Redhair, Beckman and others were surprised. At first glance, they thought it was 300 million. Advertisement. The first reward is 300 million. Oh my god. Too strong. As expected of Luffy's brother. Also Ace's older brother. Ace visited us once, talked about Luffy, and talked about Lupu. As expected of Ace and Luffy's big brother, really amazing. However, Beckman found something wrong. 300 million, maybe not. Beckman couldn't believe it. No, Beckman, although it's unbelievable, it's obviously not 30 million Baileys, because at a glance, it can't be, because the reward amount is too long. Beckman said. I mean, maybe it's not 300 million, but, because, 300 million is not so long. Everyone was taken aback for a moment, and realized that, indeed, the length was a bit wrong. The redhead was also surprised, not 300 million, then. They were shocked, and counted carefully, all of them changed their faces greatly. Usopp. My god, 3 billion. Lajaloo. For the first time, a reward of 3 billion. The ship's Dr. Dejay couldn't believe it. This is too outrageous, even the eldest brother of Luffy and Ace, it's too unbelievable. Beckman guessed. It must be something big, something serious. Suddenly, they looked at the newspaper. Immediately, I was horrified. 19 years old, Admiral's strength, his strength moves are like another Garp. It shocked them, it was horrible, they were so young after all. Garp's strength, they know it, Shanks knows it best. Shanks exclaimed. I am very aware of Garp's strength. I have seen it many times on Roger's boat. I didn't expect that Garp's grandson is such a monster. Usopp couldn't believe it. Conqueror's Haki can do real damage just like you do. Lajaloo exclaimed. The boss only mastered it in the first 5 years, and Lupu is only 19 years old. Beckman said. With such strength and such a dangerous idea, it's no wonder that he will be offered a reward of 3 billion. However, in this way, he is very dangerous. If the strength is not very strong, then it's okay, but it's too strong, and in the end the key is that the 19-year-old admiral has great potential, so the world government and marine will attach great importance to it. If it is not strong and has little potential, then even if there is such an idea, it will make the world government and marine feel ridiculous and overwhelmed. However, 19 years old is so strong, and he is doing continuous possession of islands and even islands. The country is the territory. In this case, it is not difficult to understand why the reward was so high for the first time and the spread of it. I believe that the bounty list and newspapers have spread all over the world, causing a shock in the world. This is very dangerous for Luffy's big brother, from bounty hunters, folk powerhouses, and even pirates. After all, Lupu is just a person, worth 3 billion. Even if Lupu is powerful, it cannot be solved easily, but, in the face of marine and world government. Beckman frowned slightly. The world government and the marine must attach great importance to Lupu, so the force sent to deal with him must be extremely high, even close to the force that will fight our Redhair pirates. Once we make a move, we must be resolved successfully. Usopp sighed softly. So, Luffy's big brother, it's very dangerous. Usopp said. It's too dangerous. Even if it's very strong, it's too dangerous. It's just one person. Immediately, the cadres of Redhair pirates shook their heads, thinking that Lupu's life is not long. Shanks said. If Luffy is in danger, I will help if I know it. But Luffy's big brother. Shanks shook his head. Bank Pinch with a monkey on his back proposes. Boss, you can offer him an olive branch and let him join our Redhair pirates, which can be regarded as giving Luffy some comfort, helping Lupu, and making us stronger, the best of both worlds. Beckman said. Lupu is free, this is one of the ways, or, join the revolutionary army. After all, the dragon is his father, and their goal is the same, to overthrow the world government. Usopp expects. If you join us, then we will be too strong. Redhead, 4 emperors. Although Beckman is the vice captain, he is not the emperor's officer, but also the emperor's class. Redhair pirates, the highest average bounty, the most balanced iron wall pirates, and the only one ship double emperor pirates. Then add Lupu, it is a boat of 3 emperors. Shanks thinks it's okay, since he is Luffy's big brother, I believe he will appreciate it very much. The redhead nodded. Then, let's extend an olive branch to Lupu, let us pass it on to our men near East Blue and Grand Line, and wait for his reply. The redhead and everyone else felt that Lupu would consider it. Chapter 046. At this time, Long also saw the reward list in the newspaper. Long's heart is full of pride, it's really amazing, the first reward is 3 billion. In Long's heart, he was also worried, because Lupu's thinking was not much different from his own. However, Lupu didn't want to join himself. Long was thinking, if possible, Lupu can be directly given the position of the leader of the revolutionary army, and if he wants, let Lupu be the leader. However, Long thinks maybe not, Lupu's idea of becoming the king of the world is definitely not unique. When I was looking for Lupu, I didn't join, which meant that I might not be with myself, and I would go my own way. But, even so, Long wanted to try, after all, Lupu's situation was too dangerous now. Not only is his own strength strong, but he also has a revolutionary army all over the world that can compete with the world government and marine. These are what I have accumulated for more than 10 years and have been continuously accumulated and expanded. But Lupu has nothing now, the strength of a single person. Although there are territory, and even some countries, but it cannot be considered too much combat power. Lupu is so strong and has such great potential, Marine will definitely focus on it, so it is very dangerous. Long felt that it was necessary to find Lupu again. Knowing that Lupu is about to arrive in Logue Town, he is ready to go. Without this incident, the dragon will also go to see Lupu off. After Luffy goes to sea, I will see Luffy off in Logue Town. So, I was supposed to go to Logue Town, and now it's just right. Long set off and went alone. Going to Logue Town, it becomes two people, Dragon, and Ace. The world was shaken and basically laughed at. As this courting death. Although he is young and powerful, he is really stupid. I don't know how to hide, but now I'm exposed. It's just a person's strength. Without any powerful subordinates, it will be over soon. Flash in the pan. Even if you have power, you are looking for death. You want to overthrow the world government and become the king of the world. Replacing celestial dragons and I am, the first obstacle to face is Marine. Facing Marine alone, he is looking for death. Marine doesn't need to use all his strength, and he can destroy him with a part of his strength. East Blue came out, so it's no surprise, because it's a frog at the bottom of a well. However, 19 years old is so strong. No conflict. He is very similar to the Marine hero Garp. Both names are Monkey D. Although the newspaper did not state the relationship, he may be Garp's grandson. They are too similar. Understood. This is why in East Blue, the strength is very strong, because of Garp's teaching, but Garp didn't tell him that the world is big, and his strength alone is insignificant. I'm going to die. I think a month. 1 month. You look down on Marine and world government. I think half a month. I bet within 10 days. Stay tuned for follow-up news about him. Advertisement. People in the world are all sarcastic, thinking they are two idiots, seeking death. Even the 4 emperors dare not have such an idea, let alone say it directly. That way, even a single 4 emperors regiment will be wiped out by Marine. Unless, the 4 emperors united, but this is impossible. For a while, many gloated and waited. There are some people talking about it. However, some of his things are just. The evil pirates and the evil marines have been driven away, and many islands and even some difficult countries have been sheltered. It's all just, but you can't persuade them to surrender, you can only settle it. There can't be 2 kings and governments in the world. He must have failed. I hope the world can become better. If it is replaced, it will be replaced by a better one, but it is impossible. The world government and marine are so powerful and have stood for hundreds of years. How could they fall down? Yeah, not to mention being alone. Although there is a territory, it is some weak East Blue territory, which is not a powerful territory. At this time, Wangguo, Cake Island. Ant saw the reward list in the news. For the first time offering a reward of 3 billion, none of the previous rocks could compare with him. So young, so powerful. However, what he had to do made the ant feel ridiculous. Is it? Big Mom thinks Lupu is too ignorant, ironic. The original rocks failed, and the rocks pirate, with me, Kaido, Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Akoku, Silver Axe, John and other strong players, failed, and they were even far away from success. Gone. Also, Marine only sent Garp and some troops to join forces with the Roger pirates to defeat. And Marine, far from dispatching all the combat power, this kid is only one person, so he really courts death. Big Mom thinks it's ridiculous that there are so many strong people in rocks and pirates, but they all failed. And, Marine just sent Garp. Although there is still Roger pirates to help, if not, Marine can send out Garp, Sengoku, and even Kong, as well as Admiral Alternates, and Buster Call, and they can win. What's more, the world government has not yet made a move, the mysterious 5 elders, and the even more mysterious I am. Therefore, the failure at that time made the ant realize that it is too difficult to become the king of the world. Even if the Rocks pirates' combat power doubled at that time, it would not be possible to succeed. What's more, this Lupu is just a person. Although he is 19 years old, it is far from enough. In Big Mom's opinion, Lupu will also be a flash in the pan. The ant said. However, it's a pity. Such a powerful existence has great potential. It would be great if you could join us. Marrying one of my daughters is a family. Ant thinks that this is an opportunity to lure Lupu to join. In such a crisis, if you do it yourself, there is a chance of success. Naturally, you have to try. If you don't try, you don't try. If you succeed, then there will be another Garp-like strong man, and even surpass Garp in the future. Then, it is inevitable to become the One Piece himself. 047 I am not taking Lupu seriously. Hearing that his mother had plans to win over Lupu, Owen's expression changed. Mom, the newspaper finally wrote, there are forces to win over, and the forces that Lupu joined, Marine and world government will attack with all their strength. The other sons chimed in. Yes, mother, that would be dangerous. Although we are not afraid, and my mother is not afraid, but it is unnecessary and not worth it. If it's a 4 emperors group, it might be worth it, but it's just one person. Marine said this obviously because he can think of this. In order to prevent Lupu from being recruited by other forces, he said this. I believe he is determined and will really do it. Even if Lupu joins us, Marine and the world government will also do it. Do it. After listening to the suggestion, the ant thought about it, and it was really unnecessary. My goal is One Piece, but if there is a guy who wants to be the king of the world, then it will be really troublesome. Avoid unnecessary troubles as much as possible. At this time, Kaido also knew about it. Kaido exclaimed. It's amazing, I want to meet him, but it seems that I have no chance. Kaido also valued it very much, but he didn't think it was necessary. He didn't want to get into big trouble now, because he still wanted to win Wano Kuni. Kaido's thinking is similar to that of the ant, and he thinks it is ridiculous. The boy who doesn't know the heights of the world, rocks didn't succeed, let alone him. The world was shaken, and the forces of all parties were also shaken by it, but there were only 3 people who wanted to win Lupu over. Whitebeard pirates, Whitebeard wants to accept Lupu as his son, Ace has already acted. Redhair pirates, want Lupu to join, after all, he is Luffy's brother, so please help if you can. For the Revolutionary Army, Long talked with Lupu for the last time, whether he is willing to join, and he can give Lupu the position of boss soon. After overthrowing the world government, Lupu became the king of the world, the same. Naval headquarters. Sengoku knew, and the world was shaking. Moreover, I don't know what forces are trying to win over, so the reminder is effective. It would be troublesome for such a monster to join a powerful force and get shelter. However, even if you join the 4 Emperors group, even if it is the Whitebeard pirates, you have to take the risk of fighting with the Whitebeard pirates to capture Lupu. Such threats must be eradicated, and as soon as possible. The bounty has been issued, giving Lupu external pressure, but the main one is the pressure from Marine. At this point, Akainu couldn't wait to take down Lupu. Garp's face is heavy, are you coming? Garp is extremely worried about what kind of combat power arrangement will be. Sengoku has already thought about it. Sakazuki, you guys come in. Akainu was the first to enter, finally ready to act. Sengoku said. As a reminder to the world, I believe that no force will take the risk to win over Lupu, but there may still be some, most likely the Revolutionary Army. Speaking of this, Akainu and the others all understand that the dragon is Lupu's father after all. With the same thought, the dragon might come to his aid and let Lupu come with him. Sengoku said coldly. Thinking of this, I made changes to the dispatched forces, Buster Call, added Sakazuki, and. Hearing this, Garp was shocked, his heart was heavy, and his combat power became stronger. Originally Akainu plus Buster Call, now, what else to add? Sengoku said, and Pelusilino. This made Akainu sneer. This operation, a crime like Monkey D. Lupu, is just a flash in the pan and will be killed. Sengoku feels that this is a surefire way. Akainu originally thought that if he added Buster Call, Lupu would die, but now he feels that he must die, after all, it is 2 admirals. Sengoku said, we will not send 3 admirals together. Advertisement. They also understand that with the highest combat power of Marine, how can they all go out at once? The safety of Marineford is also very important, and they will not give other forces in the world the opportunity to take advantage of it. Therefore, Marine did not act in Aokiji, Garp, Sengoku, and Kong. The world government also didn't send out combat power, so the Marine side wasn't afraid of the 4 emperors making trouble. As for the world government, they are not afraid of the Revolutionary Army taking the opportunity to act. Okay, let's do it. Sengoku's words fell, Akainu and Kizaru left. Kizaru thought it should be easy. It's a monster, but Buster Call and Sakazuki are enough. Kizaru felt that it was good that he could complete the task without any effort. Garp's face was heavy, Sengoku didn't say anything after seeing it. I gave it a chance, but it's a pity that first didn't join Marine. Garp worried. Lupu. Garp has mixed feelings, knowing that Lupu is dangerous, but as a grandfather, he can't help him. Would love to help but I'm a Marine. Garp can only pray in his heart that the dragon can help Lupu. Although his inner thoughts are against his own position, he cannot truly be selfless. At this time, the Holy Land Mariajoy. 5 elders discussed. Bold boy. Marine has already acted, that kid will die soon. Unfortunately, if it can become our combat power, it may surpass Garp. It's not for our use, and there are such dangerous thoughts, you must die. Waiting for good news from Marine. In the deepest part of Pengu City, among the flowers. Here is the existence, the mystery, the existence that the 5 elders all worship. It is the current king of the world, the behind-the-scenes master of the world government, I am. With unfathomable power, it can sit on the void throne that even the celestial dragons cannot occupy, and can issue orders to the 5 elders to erase any object or island in the torrent of history. The mysterious I am, naturally knew about it. After all, such a dangerous idea, and such a powerful strength, will attract his attention even at the age of 19. However, Im's contempt is ridiculous, very contemptuous. The kid who sits in the well and looks at the sky wants to replace me and become the king of the world. He doesn't know my true strength. Admiral's strength makes him feel hopeful. It's ridiculous. Im's tone was extremely arrogant, or in other words, absolutely confident. Even if the 4 emperors are united, it is difficult to do it, let alone an admiral-level combat power. Even getting him to the top, surpassing Garp, alone, is simply impossible. To put it bluntly, IM didn't pay attention to Lupu at all. Ignorance, after seeing my strength, will you still have such an idea? However, if you don't see it, you will be defeated like a flash in the pan. Yim, who is absolutely confident, also has absolute strength. It only takes a moment to destroy a country. This is his strength. In Im's view, Lupu does not understand his own strength. However, as a time traveler, Lupu also knows. In the comics, IM did destroy the country with one move. In an instant, 16 huge rays of light destroyed the kingdom of Lulusia. The mysterious power is so powerful that it is suspected that Uranus was used. But, if you want to say who knows the least, it is I am who knows the strength of Lupu the least. 048 Doomed. I am thinks that Lupu is just like a mayfly shaking a tree. However, since he is the son of the dragon, he must be removed to prevent Lupu from joining the revolutionary army. It would be troublesome for the revolutionary army to have one more Garp-like strength. At this time, Naval Headquarters. Sengoku asked, "Have you found any trace of Lupu?" "No, the scout ship will be sunk by him before it approaches. Since he has become an enemy of the Marine and world government, any Marine ship that approaches him will be sunk by him." Sengoku is not surprised. It seems that he also understands his situation, and how dangerous it is for us to know his whereabouts. However, according to his general route, if he wants to enter the Grand Line, then he is likely to be found in the area of Logue Town, and he is ready to go. After the order was given, the Buster Call lineup, plus Kizaru and Akainu, left Naval Headquarters. Also, Sengoku arranged for a press ship belonging to the Marine and world government to record and promote this station. After all, they're not only trying to get rid of Lupu as a threat, they're trying to make an example of it. No matter how strong a person is, once he has a dangerous idea, it will definitely be resolved by the Marine and world government. This matter, also under their impetus, revealed the news to the private news agency. The world's largest news agency, Morgan's World Economic News Agency, also knows. All of a sudden, newspapers were printed and spread, and news ships from all over the world were heading to the waters near Logue Town. If they could be photographed, it would be big news. After all, this incident caused the world to shake. Immediately, the world continued to discuss again. Marine moved. After releasing the reward, I acted immediately, as expected. After all, with such a bold idea, you actually want to become the king and become the new ruler. However, you can't control yourself. Will it be found? Hopefully he won't hide. Definitely going to hide. Maybe not, because of ignorance, otherwise I wouldn't have said it publicly to Marine, so I might be met by Marine. Then the result must be solved by Marine, because the lineup is too strong. It turned out to be Buster Call plus 2 admirals. Then Lupu will undoubtedly die, even if it is admiral level strength, but 1 admiral level, it is impossible for 2 admiral level opponents. It's even more impossible to survive facing 2 admirals plus a Buster Call. Although I know that the result is that Monkey D. Lupu was solved, this matter still makes people curious and I want to continue to pay attention. Next, we will wait for the Buster Call warship led by Admiral to find Lupu. The battle broke out, and many news agency ships have also gone. The news will spread as soon as possible. Marine is also doing this to scare the chickens and monkeys. I hope that when the war spreads, it will warn other people who have evil thoughts. Come on, I can't wait. The situation is bound to be overwhelming. At this point, Cake Island. After the ant saw the news, she stopped paying attention and just waited for the result. It's a pity that it's such a combat power. Kaido also feels that this rising star is about to fall before reaching the peak, which is really stupid. It's self-defeating, but this Lupu is more self-defeating than himself. I am the strongest creature in the sea, land and air, so I have survived many times, or I am not trying to die, but as a training to improve. But this fellow, more daring, has such dangerous thoughts. If you are like this, you will definitely not be able to survive. New World, aboard the Morbidi. Marco and other captains, Whitebeard also know. Advertisement. Marco's face was heavy. This lineup is too strong. I hope Ace can arrive early, otherwise there will be no chance. Ace's big brother is strong, but facing such a lineup, he is also close to death. They all said it was good, and they all felt that there was no life in their hearts. Whitebeard thought the same way, thinking that Lupu was in danger. At this point, Redhair pirates. Hong handed down the newspaper and waited for the return from his subordinates, thinking that it was almost time. Usopp exclaimed. To deal with a Lupu, Marine is really a big battle, 2 admirals plus Buster Call. Lajalu. In this case, it is very dangerous for Lupu. Beckman guessed. In this way, the chances of him choosing to be with us or with the revolutionary army will increase. After all, this is his chance of survival. One person cannot resist Marine's capture. The redhead felt the same way, waiting. Should reply soon. At this time, the king of the sea is on his back. Naturally, Lupu read the new newspaper, and it was Akainu, Kizaru, and Buster Call who dealt with him. Buster Call is a brutal and inhumane incineration attack consisting of 10 ships and an elite force of 5 vice admirals and marines. The warships that perform Buster Call are the strongest and most aggressive in Marine, all built by the Royal Shipyard Water 7, and their quality is beyond doubt. Dealing with Sea Kings is basically no problem. There are about 1,000 Marine soldiers on each battleship. The backbone of the 5 naval headquarters, and the most powerful in Vice Admiral, has been known to be Flying Squirrel, Doberman, Huo Shaoshan, Ghost Spider, and Stallo Berry. Such a lineup would scare too many people, but as the target of such a lineup, Lupu looked indifferent, even disdainful. Is there such a lineup? The warm-up is not enough. If you go all out, it's really not enough for Lupu to warm up. Of course, such a lineup does not require Lupu's full strength. Lupu is waiting. All of this is also part of the plan, in order to increase the popularity. Therefore, it depends on the next battle. Lupu is in a good mood. Marine, it's very good, the momentum is very good, the whole world is paying attention, and news ships from all over the world will come. Lupu was a little apologetic. Ace, Luffy, and Grandpa are all worried now, just for a few days. At this moment, a ship approached and immediately identified himself. I'm under the Redhair pirates, and I'm sheltered by the Redhair pirates. I have a letter for you, and it's from the red-haired boss. It's really presumptuous, because it's urgent, so the boss has no time to come in person, so I will deliver the letter to you. For you. Give it to me. After Lupu took the letter and opened it, he understood it and guessed it. Lupu said directly. Tell him, thank him for his kindness, I will not join. This surprised the visitor and refused. Aren't you really thinking about it? Marine has already taken action. You should know that with a strong lineup, even you will be dangerous. Joining forces with the Redhair pirates will make Marine fearless and safer. Lupu smiled. This way, it's interesting, you can go back. Chapter 049. Well, take care. Hongfa's subordinates left, and soon contacted Hongfa. After the redhead got through to the phone bug, she found out that she had been rejected. This surprised the redhead, who hadn't expected it. If you didn't join the Revolutionary Army, and didn't join your own group, then you were still alone. Now, facing Buster Call plus 2 admirals, I must have known it, but still refused, what do you think? Lajalu didn't understand. Why did you refuse? He didn't join the Revolutionary Army. He was still alone. Buster Call and 2 admirals arrested him. This incident spread all over the world. He must have known about it, but he refused. In this way aren't you courting death? Usopp nodded. Yeah, he's not very powerful. Although he has a lot of land, he's in East Blue, so his combat power is nothing. Then he's still strong alone. Facing Marine's capture, it's hard for him to survive. Turned it down. Even Beckman, with his brilliant mind, couldn't figure it out. No matter how smart you are, no one can figure it out. Beckman said. Either they are really looking for death, or they have a whole card, and the higher probability is a whole card. This made Hongfa and the cadres feel that it was also possible. However, what kind of cards do you have? Beckman conjectured. My own strength is already so strong, at the admiral level at the age of 19, so I directly ruled out my own strength. I just went to sea, and some sites are those. Then, what I can think of is the Revolutionary Army, even if didn't join, but maybe the Dragon and the Revolutionary Army will make a move. This made Usopp and others feel that it was possible. If the Dragon made a move, then the 2 world powerhouses would have a high chance of escaping. Shanks said. Then, wish him luck. West Rob Village. Caya was worried when she found out. Lord Lupu is very powerful, but he will also face great danger. I really want to help Master Lupu, but I can't do anything. Caya also wants to grow up to repay Lupu well in the future, and doesn't want Lupu to be in any danger. Standing by the sea, Caya put her palms together and prayed. Master Lupu, you must live well, and I hope you are safe. Kokoja Village. Nami and Nuo Chigao also know. I was happy before, Lupu's bounty is so high, it's amazing. However, seeing Marine's actions, Nami and Nuo Chigao were very worried. Buster Call, 2 Marine Admirals, although they don't know this kind of lineup, how strong they are, and how strong Admirals are. However, Lupu's strength is set at the Admiral level, and it is too dangerous for Marine to send 2 Admirals with strong combat power. Nami is very worried, Lupu saved the village and saved himself, and it has been agreed to repay Lupu, another day. Moreover, Lupu is an idol in their hearts, godlike, extremely respected, and they don't want anything to happen to Lupu. Nuo Chigao said. Master Lupu, you must be fine. I have already started to practice my cooking skills. Next time we meet, Nami and I will serve you food. It is agreed that we must so that we can fulfill our agreement. Eat under me and Nami. Nami said. I am not only improving my sailing ability and strength, but also learning how to cook. Master Lupu said that he is looking forward to my abalone. I will definitely let Master Lupu eat it. I am working hard to learn how to make delicious abalone. Advertisement. They also want to repay Lupu. They don't want Lupu to have something to do, they are nervous, and they are paying attention to the follow-up of this incident. I believe Master Lupu must have his own rescue method. Master Lupu, we are waiting for you. Windmill Village. Luffy is worried. Even, Luffy wants to go to sea in advance, find his brother, help him, and fight against Marine together. However, he remembered what Lupu told himself before leaving. Luffy, no matter what you hear about me, don't worry, trust your brother, in your heart, brother is invincible, an unimaginable monster, right? So, don't worry, even after going to sea, don't think look for me, we are destined to meet, you have your own way, sail according to your own goals, we will meet, so, I will not let myself have trouble. One day, you and me, Ace, we 3 brothers will meet again. Luffy suppressed the idea of going to sea now. Ace promised himself that he would not die. My brother also agreed, and my brother is very strong. Although the elder brother is now facing Marine's powerful force to arrest him, Luffy chooses to trust his elder brother. Luffy said firmly, brother, I believe in you. See you after I go to sea. Luffy believes that after going to sea, he will definitely meet in the Grand Line soon. Naval Headquarters. Sengoku will naturally continue to investigate. Garp was worried in his heart, thinking, I hope Lupu can unite with a powerful force for the time being, otherwise this time is too dangerous, even if Lupu can surpass me, he will be close to death, or even. So, Lupu, we must find a powerful backer, join forces, or join the Revolutionary Army. Even. Thinking of this, Garp is still hopeful that Lupu will become a Marine. The sailors who reported came. Marshal, according to some civilians in East Blue, Lupu is still alone, riding the King of the Sea, and the course is approaching Logue Town. Although a warship would be sunk if it approached, as long as it sailed, it would inevitably pass the island and be noticed by civilians. So, I know Lupu's whereabouts. Sengoku breathed a sigh of relief. That's good, then Monkey D. Lupu will definitely die this time, and going to sea is the end. Sengoku couldn't figure out why not unite and really be alone. Don't think too much if you don't understand it, maybe it's just that a newborn calf is not afraid of tigers, and doesn't know what kind of enemy he faces. Sengoku told the information to Akainu who had sailed close to Logue Town. After Akainu found out, he sneered. Get ready to be strangled by me. East Blue won't go out for such a crime. When you get to Logue Town, just die there like Roger. Chapter 050 Akainu Kizaru is coming. In Akainu's opinion, it is enough to bring Buster Call by himself, not two admirals. Although it is to scare the chickens and monkeys, adding Buster Call by itself can overwhelmingly end the battle and take down Lupu. Kizaru said at this time, Sakazuki, we joined forces to deal with Lupu, isn't it a bit of a mobilization? Akainu understood, and said in a deep voice, you can just lie down and watch. This is exactly what Kizaru wanted, lying on the deck chair and basking in the sun comfortably. 3 days later, Lupu came to Logue Town, naturally eye-catching. After all, the sailing tool is not a pirate ship, but the king of the offshore. This shocked some people, that is, Monkey D. Lupu. The first time is 3 billion Baileys. To be king of the world. 3 billion, join hands. Then you will get rich, and you will have no worries for the rest of your life. It's a good opportunity to lie down comfortably. Immediately, some pirates on the pirate ship saw it and pulled the trigger. One Piece world, there is no shortage of this kind of death. For example, when Sabayati landed in the original plot, the minions wanted to shoot Kizaru. Bang bang, the gunshots sounded, and the pirates were excited. Ha ha ha, 3 billion will be mine. That's 3 billion. Sure enough, the high bounty is mainly because of his dangerous ideas. However, the next moment, they were shocked, and the bullet missed. Wiping his eyes, he felt dazzled. How is it possible, didn't hit? Trash, I missed him so close, I haven't surprised him yet, I still have a chance. Go together. There was the sound of the trigger being pulled, and some pirates jumped up directly, charging down with knives in their hands. Lupu disdained it, and after being offered a reward of 3 billion, he became a little unclean again, and there was always someone who wanted to kill him. Then the next battle will shock the world even more and make people more afraid of themselves. Of course, it refers to the 2 admirals plus Buster Call, not these minions around. Lupu didn't even have to move, and Conqueror's Haki broke out. In an instant, the pirates jumping around died instantly, not fainting. The Conqueror's Haki, which was substantially injured, slammed on their bodies like a giant hammer, and their internal organs were directly shattered, bleeding from the 7 orifices, vomiting blood, and death directly. The pirates who fought in the distance were destroyed together with the pirate ship and died in the sea. This made the faces of many pirates in the distance, depending on the situation, startled, which was really terrifying. What did he do? Have no idea. Nothing was done, so many people died, and the pirate ships were destroyed. I've sailed the Grand Line for a while, and I know, that's Conqueror's Haki. It's too scary. It's as scary as the red-haired Conqueror's Haki. I even think it's even stronger. Sure enough, the horror of 3 billion is not something we can contend with. Those idiots, if they want 3 billion, they have to have life flowers. It's a good thing it didn't go up. This makes other pirates, bounty hunters, and other underground forces all happy. Think of him as an admiral class. Marine's reward order clearly states that it is at least admiral level. If it's so easy to mess with, Marine will be finished. After all, Marine only has 3 admirals. See some ships in the distance, it seems to be a news ship. After all, Marine sent warships to capture Lupu. Almost everyone in the world knows that it might break out in the waters of Logue Town, so all the news ships around here are here. I believe news ships from all over the world are also coming here. At this time, those news ships panicked and wanted to escape, but they felt that they must die. Advertisement. Because they are news ships, they will expose Lupu's whereabouts, and they will definitely be destroyed. They came here in advance to record the next war, and now that Lupu really did not hide, but came to Logue Town, then this battle is more likely to happen. They will definitely be killed, after all, Marine is approaching here. Once it is confirmed that Lupu is here, then the big battle will break out. But, soon, they found that the Logue Town of the offshore dynasty that Lupu was riding was approaching and did not attack them. Didn't find us. It's impossible not to find out. Why? I don't understand. Knowing that Marine is attacking him, but not hiding, so above board, do you want to die here like Roger? They couldn't figure it out and didn't think too much, they breathed a sigh of relief. Soon, the news that Lupu came to Logue Town spread. This makes people in Logue Town panic. It actually came. In that case, Buster Call and Admiral will come. Run away, this place may be destroyed. This must be a battlefield. Yeah, Buster Call is horrible. What are you afraid of? The target is Lupu, not us. Such a lineup will end soon. Most people choose to flee and leave Logue Town quickly, it is too dangerous. Naval Headquarters. Sengoku was in such a good mood that he actually went to Logue Town. Sengoku immediately contacted Akainu. Sakazuki, are you almost there? Knowing that Lupu has come to Logue Town, Akainu is excited and really courts death. It's almost there. In an hour, you can reach Logue Town. Very good, this battle is about to break out. Originally, Sengoku was worried that Lupu would hide, but he didn't expect that Lupu would come. He didn't hide his face, and he was just above board. And, it has been determined that there is no one related to Lupu in Logue Town, and there is no trace of the revolutionary army. So, there is only one Lupu. Sengoku said. There is smoker in Logue Town. If Lupu leaves soon, he will stop him. Garp's face is heavy. What is this kid Lupu doing? He publicly stated what he was going to do. He was an enemy of Marine and world government. He knew that two admirals brought Buster Call, but he didn't hide, and he still came to Logue Town. Why? Even he couldn't figure it out. Garp's heart was heavy. Lupu, what are you thinking? In this situation, there is no life, unless the dragon appears to help you, there is still hope. Garp feels that Lupu's strength is similar to his own. If he really wants to fight to the death, he will win. After all, Conqueror's entanglement is very important, and Lupu still can't. Facing Akainu, Kizaru, and Buster Call by himself, he will lose. Therefore, Lupu too. Garp's heart is heavy, he doesn't want Lupu to be in danger, and can only pray that the dragon will appear. Long will definitely pay attention to this matter. Although Marine didn't see any traces of the revolutionary army, but the dragon has always been a dragon, and it may appear. That way, he can rest assured. Dragon, you must appear, otherwise Lupu will be finished. At this time, Buster Call was approaching Logue Town. On the leading warship, Akainu, Kizaru stood at the bow, and looked ahead. Akainu sternly said, in 1 hour, evil will be eradicated, and Monkey D. Lupu will be strangled in Logue Town to warn the world that evil cannot defeat justice. Ah, in an instant, Marine cheered loudly. Kizaru sighed softly. What an arrogant guy, if he doesn't hide, then it will be over. Akainu said coldly. Die in Logue Town like Roger, it can be regarded as a luxurious funeral I prepared for you, it will be more honorable to die.